We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
They got these people, like, their only job is to make these videos. They came out with I don't know, some of them I just don't know the purpose of it. It's like, I get it, you want to do human interest stuff, but we're starving for regular information. And so what had happened was they put out a special address yesterday, but they used the NBC special report music at the beginning of it, which is a real wake-up call because there's a little thing called copyright, and I don't believe NBC gave the governor's office permission to use their music. So, you know, when you put up something with a copyright, the Facebook will flag it and it gets taken down. So I was just looking at the address last night on the governor's Facebook page. Man, comments were brutal. People were just hating. And then we went on this morning and you couldn't find it anywhere. It's not on her Instagram. It's not on her Facebook. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. When we put it on our social media, even though we're gangs with NBC, they jumped us in. We used our own little intro. So whoever's supposed to do the videos over there at Adaloop, they should get a spanking. Go make them face the wall. Because this is not just any address. You know, our governor doesn't like to come out and govern in real life, so we're governed by social media. We're governed by WhatsApp messages. We're governed by rumors and innuendo. So it's pretty much life and death. This special address, important information that people need to know. So whoever screwed up on that, shame on you. It's a rookie mistake, really. Anyway, I heard there might be a press conference.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, because I did put out an invitation to the governor, to the communications secretary, if we could have the governor on, and it was for today, Friday, or Monday.
Right.
And so just waiting to hear back whether or not we will be able to get her on the show. But, you know.
Should I be nice then, or because I should stop?
No, I
Oh,
mean, you can't. You
I mean,
say
because
what
they,
you want to say.
yeah, but because they used the copyrighted music, and I had to call them out for it because that, you know, like I said, we're starving for information. So when the governor puts out a special address, people are like, oh, they got to go watch it, and now they can't go watch it.
They can watch it. They could watch it.
Oh, they
on
watch
our
it on our
Facebook
KUAM,
page.
of course,
And our
of course.
Facebook
See,
page.
it's just
Posted it.
for me, it's just too much social media. Social media is fine, but it shouldn't be the be all end all. It should augment.
I get you.
I know, but they're listening, so I'm just going to lecture them. Social media should augment real life governing, not be the only option. How many questions we had after that video? And can you ask a video a question? You can. You're going to look stupid doing it, though. Anyway, good morning, guys. Beautiful morning out here, despite everything. Crazy numbers continue to come down. We heard from Janella Carrera yesterday with Public Health about this Holman Krauts thing, and it kind of looks like we have a lot of businesses who are following the protocols, and they're upset because businesses that aren't following the protocols are making the news in a bad way. And what did Public Health say? Oh, they were admonished. Oh, God. My worst fear in life is to be admonished. Admonished? Really? I had to Google that. It basically means you get chewed out, and you know, it's a fancy way of saying you get chewed out. So all you businesses out there, you better take these executive orders seriously, or you are going to get chewed out. You're going to get chewed out. And you know, Public Health, they can give a good chewing. You don't want the governor to chew you out, because I've had that happen, and man, it's no fun.
Too much of it.
I'm just frustrated for our people, and it's at the point where you can only kind of like laugh about it.
I know. I've been right here with you.
I know you have, but we're seeing.
I'm just trying to like keep it together.
Hey, one of us keeps it together. One of us can just unravel right here on display for everybody.
It is what it is.
It is totally what it is. It's 6:56. Hey, big show coming up. We have the labor director, Dave Della Sola, to talk about the PUA, the FPUC. Norm Analista, they're doing this thing with Analista and Co. It's like a fundraiser type deal that I don't really know much about. We're going to get them on because they got those cool food
Trying to
dog.
spread awareness about mental health awareness.
Right, yeah, because, gosh, yeah, I definitely need more mental health awareness. Then we're going to get the Guam Young Professionals. Anthony Mariano and Judy Rosario come on and talk about what are they doing to talk to their people. As you look at the numbers, it's the young folks, the young guns that are catching the virus, and what Public Health says is they're spreading it. We have Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani. So they were in Jigo yesterday. They're starting the house-to-house testing today. Mayor Rudy, probably like the last guy to know. I called him yesterday. He's like, I got to go meet Public Health. And then he called me after the show, and he was like, they're confused.
Who, he is or
No, he's not confused. Mayor Rudy is never the one who's confused. So he's going to come on later, and, you know, he's probably going to lecture Public Health or something. It's going to be fun. Then Harvest Christian is coming on. There was a talk I heard that, I don't know if it was Harvest, but a few of the private schools had met with the lieutenant governor about restarting face-to-face education. I know that they had they did like an opinion video or something. So we'll find out. We'll get Jeremy from Harvest. And then Dr. Juan Flores, the Catholic Schools superintendent, bring him on so all you parents who are now full-time online teachers can talk, listen to what he has to say. No names. Asking for a friend. And then we're going to do it up with our KUAM News Decision 2020 segment where we get your candidates on and ask them some questions. And then you go and vote. So we have Jose Pito Terlahi, incumbent Democrat. We also have incumbent, he's the Budget Finance Chair, Joe San Augustine, Democrat. Democrat candidate Chris Carrillo. And the lone Republican this morning, former Senator Tony Atta. And we're also going to take you to Sbarro's. Yeah, you might be a little iffy about going around, but We went to Sabaros for you. And we're going to do a little Pepsi pizza tasting with our Pepsi Pizza Report coming up 6:58. It's Carrier 647 Cool, Calvo Enterprises, IT&E. Let's jump into the KUAM News Zoom room where we have standing by Margaret Bautista Gay, who's the Public Health Community Health Nursing Administrator. She leads the community testing, right, Margaret?
Yes, I do.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Did-
Morning, everyone.
We have some virtual malasadas in there. There's also some virtual coffee. We have decaf and Starbucks. My mom sent it from the States, so if you want to go ahead and grab one of those. And let's just jump right into it. If you could, Margaret, tell us a little bit about what you do with the Department of Public Health and Social Services for our Network of Nurses segment that we do in conjunction with the Guam Nurses Association.
Well, I'm the Bureau Administrator for the Bureau of Family Health and Nursing Services. I oversee was the Central Medical Clinic at Mingilao, but now we are relocated to Daddy Doe, which are the free services for the pregnant moms, children, and also we oversee the TB clinic, STD clinic, the free clinic. And then I oversee the nurses that go out in the community, which we, as you've seen lately, we've been all over from airport to port to community testing, immunization. So we're the district nurses that go out and see these at-risk communities throughout the island. Mm-hmm. And I oversee three major grants that relate to the maternal and child health program on Guam. Another one is our systems developmental incentive grant, and our maternal infant early childhood home visiting program, Project Visita y Familia, which our nurses go out to the families and educate them on early prenatal care, child development, and positive parent-child bonding. And also, recently we got 2 other grants, which are the Family Information Center, which is FERT, and the Preschool Developmental Grant. Both of these grants relate to the early childhood families. So they have a place where they can go to assist them in their needs of early childhood services on Guam.
I'm surprised you're not the director with all that experience. My goodness.
No, I'm just nursing.
You're just the HNIC, huh?
Right.
Head nurse in charge. My goodness.
Yeah, nursing.
Margaret, let's switch gears a little bit to COVID. So you're leading the community outreach testing effort. So what is it that our people are saying when you're out there in the community and they're wanting to get tested for the virus?
Well, in the beginning, we were there. They didn't come out, right away because, the virus wasn't out there. It was there, but it wasn't, the numbers weren't big. But now they want more. Yeah. We have controlled it to 200 because, our lab capacity does not hold that much. We can't test that much and get the results on time. But we're now looking at targeted. So we go where we're needed to test, and like we test whatever area we're assigned to, and the questions are, when are we going to get our results? How do I stay home? The general questions. But the one I know they're looking for is they want us out more, or they want to know the next one coming up. Now they're really interested. So, we're there, but we have to go with what our direction is assigned to us.
And what you do over at Public Health, you guys are getting ready to do this rapid engagement team going house to house, yeah. But you've been there a long time. This isn't anything new that the nurses have done at Public Health. I want to say in the past, you guys have gone out into communities to do outreach, right?
Yes. We used to be, like the flu, we do outreach on the flu, but remember Ebola, our H1N1 before 10 years ago. We were out there. We swabbed at home, and we were able to get the vaccine earlier. So we did the mass vaccination, and we do drills on mass vaccination, on pods of distribution. We do airport drills. We do disaster training and drills with the other partners in the community, like Homeland, GPD, GFD, the military. We do more than just give shots, and now we're doing testing. So our job is really whatever comes through public health and needs to be done by nurses or outreach. We're usually the first team to go out.
Right.
Like the dengue, we were there.
Mm-hmm.
We were the ones to survey. We're the ones to educate and give the tents, give the repellent. So, yeah. So we're the frontliners of the jungle or the community.
Front lines in the jungle.
The jungle.
Yeah, and you guys.
We we're out there. Not only the streets but in the community.
How have the nurses prepared for today's house to house? Because you guys really seem to be going into ground zero.
Yeah. I'm not. Yesterday they assessed the area, how many houses, how many people we're going to be testing or interviewing, and so today we will be going. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm going straight down there to meet with the team of nurses and some of our contact tracers and logistics and the other public health people to go out to these houses, and we're going to assess them and then test them down at the at-risk community area.
I know you have all this experience going out and doing outreach, but this one is really different because of the risk. How overwhelming has it been for you, I guess, this particular response and your team of nurses?
Oh, how many months already? 6 months, almost 7. We are taking a toll, but we're still going because, without the help of the other nurses from DOE and the other newly hired RNs, LPNs, CNAs, we are able to continue our job. But it is taxing, and especially when you go out to the at-risk communities, like we went to the prison, we went out to the homeless shelters, we went out to all these different at-risk areas. And you not only do the job, but you even have that sense of we feel for them because they lack some of the resources, and during this time where unemployment, and so we're seeing a lot, and we want to do more as public health nurses, which we usually will help them a lot more, but because our response is focused, and so we will get back to them. That's what I say. We're not done. We're going to get back to giving them shots or checking on their prenatal, because there's kids everywhere, families everywhere that need our help. And, as nurses, especially our public health nurses, we don't stop. We just keep going, and we just get on, do our work and continue the mission. But it is hard on us both physically, because I'm not the youngest one there, but emotionally, and that's why I really need as a administrator and a supervisor, I really need to motivate my nurses to let's continue our job. It's not every day. Every day is a different story. We go different areas, do different things, but it is hard on us because we're nurses, we're also moms, and we have to take care of both ourselves and our families and our patients. Go ahead.
The numbers, they're still soaring, and there are people that aren't really necessarily paying attention or following the guidelines. And I guess to to give them an idea of just how real and how serious the situation is, can you tell us, I guess, what has been the most heartbreaking thing that you've seen, so people understand, you know, and get the message to stop messing around?
Yeah. You know, we go to the homes when we test, right? And because someone was positive, we go there. We come from we go to different homes, and it depends on the person and how they're affected with this virus. If it was your auntie that passed away last week because your cousin brought it to your auntie and got her sick and died, it'll hurt those people faster, and the ones that don't have that connection or don't see the cause of what they're doing can cause lives. They don't see it. And that's what you have to do a lot of times with our job. We have to tell them, if you don't get this vaccine, the baby will die. You know, you have to say it like that, because sometimes they just look at you and say, okay. But you have to make them feel what you want them to feel so they can react to what is happening now. And like Chris says, I really do say stay home, because you need to stay home. You need to stay home to stop the spread and save lives, but they don't get it. And maybe it might be communication. Maybe we need to do maybe a different way of getting it to them. But it really, it's, you know, we just tested DOC. And when they said someone was positive, we're like, oh my God, you know, all our work trying to educate, and then, but at least now they're controlled. But you know, it's hard. It's hard to teach if you can't get it through them, and that's why it helps that we go out, because we're the nurses. We tell you that these are the issues if you don't take care of this issue. You know, if you don't stay home, wear your mask, wash your hands. You know, it does. And we thought it was going to be like the H1N1, like, you know, the vaccine came right away, but it's not. It's a whole different ballgame. Like I was saying, when I educated prior to the COVID, we were educating the nurses about the coronavirus. Little did we know it, we turned around and there it was in front of us. And so, you know, we didn't know about it. And so we're trying to learn about it, trying to educate our clients about it, but we're still learning. You know, we have, as you can see, everywhere, everyone's teaching us something new. And so we feel for the families, because the kids shouldn't get it, you know, and that's what we're seeing. And like you said, the homeless, we tested them and it was the family, and it hurts to see the child get it, you know, because they're innocent. And so again, we have to go back to the parents. We have to educate the parents in whatever way they can. And like I said, I use analogies. You know, I said, you know, this is the virus, goes into your lungs. It's like a big like meconium, if you guys understand. It's like a big a glob in your lungs, and if you don't get that out, you're gonna die. You know, you gotta give them pictures of what can happen. And the deaths are just making me more scared every day for my dad at home, for all my aunties out there, you know, because I don't want that to happen to our family. And I guess we just need to buckle down and get it through their head to stay home and stay in your room and just stay home for 14 days, you know. So because that's the cure right now, or, you know, that's our treatment for it.
Our best defense.
Yeah. And to see babies get positive, oh my God, that's another one. It's that's not where it's supposed to be at, you know, and we could lose our babies, and that shouldn't happen. So, and I guess being a mom and a nurse, it just hurts to see the people that don't have a lot, you know, are getting it, and it's hurting them and everyone else around them.
Margaret, I think what you said this morning, for me, very piercing. There's a lot of people out there, these, you know, anti-maskers, these COVID deniers, just talking so much smack. And that's why I think it's important that we get you guys on here. You guys are in the front lines. You're a nurse. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for coming on here and just kind of letting us walk. I mean, I know it's nowhere close to what you guys are going through, but just for kind of giving us an idea of what it's like to walk in those nurses' shoes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So everyone, it's all the nurses everywhere from GMH to us to school nurses. We're all out there to help each other, help with whatever we can do. And so we just need to help everyone too by educating.
Thank you. So on your way out, grab some of that virtual malasadas for the staff if you're heading up north.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much, and God bless you and all the nurses.
We should start today.
Yes.
It's the rain or shine. We're gonna be out there with our blue space, our shields and everything in the sun. So hopefully we'll get this response, into what we're trying to fight for.
Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Good luck today to you and all of your team. Stay safe.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Margaret.
Okay, bye.
Esther, wash your hands.
Oh, wow. She's awesome. You know, I've heard about her, and I've actually wanted to do something with her in the past, and just never been able to connect. But I heard about her and the things that the nurses do, where they go out and they do their outreach into the communities, like Gil Baza, and I'm glad she finally we got the opportunity to put her on the show and highlight what she does and her team.
And thank you to the Guam Nurses Association for partnering with us for the Network of Nurses segment. It's a great segment, and it really provides a lot of insight because, we hear from the doctors a lot, but sometimes it's good to get the voice of the nurses into the conversation. 7:15, we're taking a short break, and we're coming back with Dave Della Sola, Labor Director, and Norm Analista of Analista & Co. And we got Guam Young Professionals on the way. This is The Link, The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning, Guam.
Celebrate National Pizza Month with the Pepsi Pizza Report. Pepsi helps celebrate this tasty month with an easy way for you to win Pepsi. Post a photo of yourself enjoying your favorite Pepsi beverage to KOM News or Uno Instagram or Facebook pages to enter to win Pepsi and pizza from one of our pizza sponsors. Catch the Pepsi Pizza Report every Thursday on KOM News' The Link Morning Show and on the social media pages of KOM News for reports, tastings, and everything pizza and Pepsi.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Pepsi Guam Bottling, a local company. We produce your favorite products right here on island, like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Hanum, Chamorro Punch, Tropical Ice, and more. We've invested millions into local production and will continue to upgrade our facilities and provide local jobs so you can truly buy local. Our long history of producing the freshest and best products will continue. This is our vision. Pepsi Guam Bottling.
The Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam is pleased to announce the grand opening on October 10 at Suite 727 of the Guam International Trade Center. The event marks the 109th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan, known as Double 10 Day.
We are in the middle of the most serious health crisis of our lives, and it affects everything from jobs to schools to the way we live. In addition to worrying about recovery, we must now worry about health care. And we shouldn't have to make choices between food and medicine, going to the doctor, or buying gas. We all need access to health care, and now, more than ever, we need hospitals and clinics which can respond to pandemics. We must get the vaccines and new treatments for COVID-19. We must be ready with ventilators and partnerships with the federal government for our emergency facilities and have pandemic plans which provide a secure safety net. We must be ready for the next crisis. And this takes a leader in Washington who is trustworthy and will work with local leaders and experts. This is why I am running for Congress. I humbly ask you for your vote. Si Diyos maasi, maraming salamat po. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
The Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Shopping Fair is coming on Sunday, November 29th. It's the 3rd annual Christmas Pops event with local artisans, crafters, and businesses in a reimagined and safe way for you to shop. As many small businesses struggle to survive, the call to buy local is greater than ever. To learn more and participate in this one-of-a-kind multimedia marketplace event on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications, bringing together the island's biggest array of local vendors, email bettyann@kuam.com or visit kuam.com.
Think about it. This is the 36th anniversary of October named as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The KUAM Care Force encourages you to think pink this October with our social media presentation, Pink About It, on October 22nd, and our KUAM News 5-part series, Awareness is Power, airing from the 19th to the 23rd, featuring a few incredible cancer warriors and the importance of screening and managing this disease. Think Pink is brought to you by Island Cancer Center.
The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze.
Sa panahon ng pandemya ng COVID-19, kailangan ng kooperasyon ng bawat isa. Kailangan natin mapanatiling malakas ang katawan at sumunod sa mga alituntunin ng gobyerno para ligtas ang lahat. Ang distansyang 6 feet bawat isa ay laging susundin, lalo na sa mga pagtitipon. Panatiling magsuot ng face mask sa labas ng bahay, lalo na sa mga pampublikong lugar. Maghugas ng mga kamay gamit ang sabon sa loob ng 20 seconds. Kung walang tubig at sabon, gumamit ng hand sanitizer na hindi bababa ng 60% alkohol. Maglinis at magdisinfekta ng mga madalas na hinahawakan. Iwasang hawakan ng mukha mo. Manatili sa bahay kung may sakit. Tulungan na mabawasan ang paglaganap ng COVID-19 sa pamamagitan ng pag-download ng Guam COVID Alert app sa App Store o Google Play. Protektahan ang sarili, ang iyong mga mahal sa buhay at ang mga mamamayan. Ang pag-iwas ay nakapagliligtas ng buhay. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon, mangyari makipag-ugnayan sa 311 o bisitahan ang aming website sa dphss.guam.gov.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
All the lives he had to take, so would you hear when a warrior cries? Would you know what he has seen through his eyes? Would you walk in the boots he has worn and stay true to the oath in which he
it's a great jam there. Chris and Christy Cruz, Warrior Cry. It's The Breeze. This show is called The Link. My name's Chris. Good morning. Chris Cave comments on our Facebook Live feed, need to respect this virus and stop challenging it. Chamarita Rages, thank you for your service and be safe. Nurses are not to blame. They're the comforter to you and your family. Claire Castro, kudos to all nurses and medical personnel, emergency responders, prayers. The Guam Nurses Association. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, KUAM, for featuring our hardworking, dedicated team of Guam nurses on The Link. Our pleasure. Tony Diaz, so grateful for the courage, devotion, and tenacity of our nurses. God bless and protect them. Vicky writes, great talk, Margarita Gay. Way to go, and thank you for all the nurses and your team for spreading the words on how we can fight this health crisis we're facing. Continue to be safe, and God bless Guam. Amen. 7:22, to the Zoom room we go. Labor Director Dave Della Sola is standing by with the very latest on the PUA and the FPUC. And Dave, I thought I saw something a couple days ago about you guys were going to hold off on issuing payments because of the high number of fraudulent claims. Is that still the situation? And if you could, good morning, by the way.
Good morning. And before I begin my spill, I just wanted to also thank Margarita. If I was going to complain, I would be quiet when that lady comes into the room. She's what it's all about, and controlling this COVID and the hardworking people that are trying to make a difference on this island. So I just wanted to applaud her and her staff for their hard work. And so, yes, you heard something, but we were managed to contain it. We ran a batch last Tuesday, and it came back and it was riddled with fraud, and we were trying to figure out how this fraud got through. And it ended up that we requested the batch to go up to 8/23, and that's what this batch is, up to August 23rd. But the programmers on the software side batched it past the 23rd. They had some extra days in it, and those days weren't cleaned by us yet. And that's it. It was a really hectic Tuesday morning while we were riddled with the fraud and trying to figure out how it came through. So I just called the owner of the company. They stopped the batch and got it to be reprogrammed for the 8/23, and they rebatched it through the whole night, and we managed to get a good batch with the corrected and clean dates. So it just cost us like 12 hours of time, but we managed to batch it, and it came out to be $13.9 billion that is going to be going out to our community at the end of this week, beginning of next week. And that'll give us a total of about $390 million since June that is injected to this economy and to our people of Guam, and we'll continue to just keep pumping it out.
So there was a large amount of fraud. You guys had thought about holding out or holding back the payouts, but you worked through that. Payouts are going out.
Yeah, I just, sometimes a graphic, I like to show you, since you can't see it, one typical day of claims. I'm just going to show you on my phone. This was August 5th. We had submitted 454 claims, and if you can see that.
Hey, Dave, if you WhatsApp me that graphic, I can. Well, we can bring it up if you wanna speak to it. If you WhatsApp me that graphic, I can bring it up.
Because this has the claimants' names, so you can't see it. So what I want you to see here is the red is fraud, and the yellow and orange are claims that were cleaned. And as you can see when I scroll, you can see this is the amount of fraud versus clean claims for a typical day. I keep scrolling, and you can get a sense of the amount of work that we're doing to clean these claims on a typical day versus the amount of claims that got in. So that is a typical day of, that was 89.88% fraud for 454 claims that were submitted on that day. And that's just the taste of what we're dealing with on a daily basis. Because I know I hear the noise out there. Some people are saying, yeah, this is just their way of slowing down, delaying. They don't know what they're doing. And I can't stress enough that we are continuing to work with our federal partners. We continue to share it. I do want to say that, to date, we've paid out a total of about 35,000 claims. And out of these claims, the fraud is becoming a big issue. And I do want to say that, out of all the fraud, there's about 30 to 40% of that fraud are identity theft. These are people who, on Guam, who had their identity stolen through the various breaches throughout the nation. And
Dave,
I can tell you we've had prominent politicians, lieutenant governors, former AGs, personal friends, executives that we saw on this list that we called up, and they had no idea that their data has been breached. And so I'm trying to tell you, this is a real problem. And this is something that everybody should be keeping an eye on their credit and what they're doing, because you hear about all these Experian or Equifax breach or Yahoo breaches of information, and you think that, oh, okay, but, there's like 50 million names stolen, this and that. You'd be surprised how many of that is on Guam. And these fraudsters are using your information, your addresses, your social security numbers, and telephones, and everything to file a PUA claim. And they're trying to, file initial claims and trying to get like $16,000 a hit on each one. And you saw how many fraud there is. So it's getting rapid, and even nationwide, it's getting flagged. And our federal partners, we're working very closely. We're sharing the data with them so that they can run it through their tools and try to see what kind of organized threats coming from wherever, all over the world, and see if they can figure out where it's coming from. And that's that's just something that I just wanted to touch on.
Right.
Another bit of good news is that we're on the final stages of the programming, the Lost Wage Assistance Program, which is the Trump package, which is going to give $300 for 3 weeks from claimants from July 26 through August 15. And those people who were able to get $100 or more of PUA will qualify for this dollar amount. And and not too far away that we will be able to process that and get that payment out. And that one we have to do very carefully, because this program, we're liable for all overpayments and fraud that we pay. Guam is. So I need to be very careful and make sure that when we do process those payments, it will be as clean as possible. And the way we'll probably do is we'll just do all 3 weeks in one check instead of doing it 1 week at a time.
Dave, we had a comment.
Quickly on that.
A comment in here from Paul. Fraud suggests a willful misrepresentation of the truth. Is that truly what's happening here by and large, or are there claims that have errors in them? Are these two classifications being mixed together? That's an alarming situation.
Repeat that again. You're a little muffled. I'm sorry, Chris.
So are these all fraudulent claims, or are there some of these claims that maybe just have honest mistake errors?
No. If you on that graph that I showed you, that Excel sheet, there's an orange and there's a yellow. The orange is the clean claims, and the yellow are good claims but with issues. And they could be various types of issues. And those we always circle back, and those are the ones that we call up the claimants, or we work on. It could be user errors, it could be information that wasn't, it could be incorrect questions answered. But no, we've identified the difference between the fraud and the local claims that might have issues to it. If that answers your question.
Can you provide an update? We have someone asking here, what's the status on the appeals claims?
The appeals kicked off on Tuesday, and we started hearing that. That was a little bit of small history, because that's the first time that Guam has ever had an appeals hearing for a federal program like this. Typically, it's always been punted to Hawaii, since they have a UI, or whenever we have a disasters, they're the ones that hold the appeals. And since this is a nationwide pandemic, everybody is stressed to the resources wise. So we've managed to start the appeals process, and we're holding a couple at a time. trying to work out the kinks and get a good flow of efficiencies and working with the public. Some are held by appointment, and some are being held by Zoom. And so it's starting to move, and it's starting to, as you know, the week goes by, we'll get better at it and start scheduling more and more frequent as we kind of get used to the flow of the hearings. Mm-hmm. So that is good and moving forward, and I'm happy to report that.
How many appeals claims have been, I guess, filed so far?
We have just over 100 appeals going on so far. And we're finding, though, that as we are calling and scheduling, you know, I'd say about 30 to 40% are changing their mind and not filing. So that's also, because when they get the notice, they just check a box whether they want to appeal, and then they send it back. And then when they actually hear a voice and get closer to having a hearing, sometimes they change their mind because they feel that, you know, either we've corrected the measures or handled them and to their satisfaction.
2 questions here. What number do we call to find out if we qualify and can apply for the unemployment? And then where do we report possible fraud?
There's a fraud email address, and I just don't have it off the top of my head. I think it's like fraud.pua. I'll send that to you. Right. It's been a while since we used it, but we have a fraud email address that you can report it. And as far as whether you qualify or not, you know, our Dedido libraries are and Jotnya is open, and they are taken by appointments. You're welcome to make an appointment, but you know, the best thing to do is just go online to Hire Guam and click file a claim, a PUA claim. And just know if you were laid off, furloughed, or reduced in hours and in pay because of COVID, then you could qualify.
Nice.
I wanted to just follow up on the fraud situation. You said it was happening nationwide, but for Guam, is it? I guess are we seeing like a hot? Are we like a hot spot for these fraudulent claims?
I don't think we're a hot spot. I think it's just happening in the States. They've already said that there's like hundreds of billions of dollars that have been fraudulently paid out, and several states have had to stop or slow down the weekly payments because they've been told to put in extra measures and get control of it, and because they're really running rapid. Right. Because, you know, for us, we're small enough that we are able to now we're doing 100% check. Mm-hmm. We're going through every claim that comes in today that you saw, and we are doing cursory reviews and DQing anything that looks fraudulent. In the States, when you get 1 million claims coming in, that's impossible to do. Mm-hmm. But in the States, the PUA is melted in to the UI, and all the safeguards of a UI program and the securities are melted into the PUA, where we're just ripped out and we just have PUA, and we lack all those extra measures. But we have, and you know, the last couple weeks we add in some fraud measures, and some are catching good fraud, and some were created more headaches and we removed them. So we have a pretty good mix of technology as far as fraud measures that are in the program, and manual, good old roll up your sleeves and check out these claims before they get paid. And that combination has gotten high praise with the US DOL, and to the point where they are acknowledging our methods as being the best case, and they want to do a case review of how we started from nothing to where we're at now, and how we've handled this program from start to finish. They were quite fascinated at the way that we're basically checking the claims and rolling up our sleeves instead of just relying on technology only. And
so how much has been paid out? How much has been paid out? How much has been paid out in fraudulent claims?
I don't, that we don't know, because I like to think that we're catching a very, very high percentage of the claims, but I wouldn't be so bold to say that we've gotten everybody. We scrub that list before it gets paid, and then when the payment registry comes in, we do a review of that, and then when it goes out, we also have some measures in there. So we have several tiers of fraud, and like I said, when we're small enough that we can actually, like I say, look and scrub everything. So I'd like to think that it's to a minimum, but to be honest with you, we're so stretched in just trying to get people's claims in, keep people's claims, fixing their claims and paying the claims. That's our priority, is just to keep the money flowing out to the island, to keep it going and keep it afloat.
Does that incur a large amount of overtime, Dave? Because we keep hearing things about a lot of overtime over at DOL with FPUC and the PUA. Can you verify that? Maybe give us you have any numbers on that, or?
No, I don't, but I can tell you right now, yes, we have overtime. My people are working 6 days a week. Initially, before June, they were working 7 days a week in order to get the program stood up, get it going, and get it organized, get the GCC facility up and running, and get it going. And every week or weekly, we give reports to USDOL on our spending level and what is required and what we're doing. Of course, all the overtime, which is really nice and fun at the first month or two, but we're in month 6, 7. The people get tired. Overtime is the last thing that's in their mind. They just keep chugging along because the money needs to get out to help our people. And all the overtime is paid by the PUA program. None of it is touched by local funds. And yes, we are working. I'm working 6 days a week, nonstop. I even sleep. I dream of PUA. I just can't get it out of my head.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It's affected everything that I do and everything that I sleep and think. So,
but is it, Dave? Is it like it's not like crazy, like we're gonna FOIA something and someone got like 500 hours of overtime in a week, or it's nothing like that, right?
The overtime that they're getting is probably, of course, the Saturday. That's a full day of overtime. And some work up to 6 p.m. We've managed to reduce the time a little bit because they are getting burnt out. And, they need to get to their families and they need to download. So most of the overtime is just, to be honest with you, the extra day Saturday that they come in and they work.
We had another comment here. Do you have enough personnel to answer the phone? That seems to be the one major concern with the public. And then we'll let you go, Dave.
And then, no, we were in a good place before this PCOR 1, in the middle of August. And we were coming down the slope. We opened up the libraries to anybody. You don't need an appointment. Everybody was coming in. Claims were going down to like 300 a day, and we're going down. And then all of a sudden, PCOR 1 hit, and that roller coaster went right back up, and we were flooded. And we've already released a lot of detailed staff. We got to a comfortable place. So no, I could add 100, 200 people to that phone, and it would just keep going. They're answering it nonstop. And remember, our people now aren't just taking and answering the phones. They are answering the phones, and if the problem is minor, they're fixing it. They're going into the system. Those people are experienced enough. They have like a month or two of training where they're fixing and answering, and correcting the problem. They're just not answering and saying, call back or we'll have somebody, unless it's a like level 2 problem where you need one of the higher level staffs. Then we'll take the names and we'll call them with one of the more experienced. But it's nonstop going. And as this PCOR 1 continues, the level and the layoffs and the furloughs continue to happen. We're just keep doing our best, but I'm not going to lie and tell you that we're answering the phones and everybody is getting answered. No, it's nonstop, and I welcome you to see them working from 8 to 5 all day, answering the phones and correcting and fixing claims. And yes, I don't have enough people to do that, and I apologize, but it's just the nature when you have an event of going from PCOR 3 to 1, and you got everybody now qualifying. You have that dramatic of event. We just didn't plan for that, and it's not like you can just hire somebody and within a week have them answering phones. It doesn't happen like that. You need a minimum of 3 weeks training just to get an idea of how to get into the system, let alone fix it, and dealing with people's confidential information and have that training involved. So it's a very involved process, and I hope you can understand how involved and difficult it is.
Thanks, Dave.
Very good.
Yeah. Thanks,
Okay.
Dave.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Sorry for the delay.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for having me.
There's some virtual malasadas on the way out if you want to grab some.
I already had 3.
Thanks, Dave. Stay home, wash your hands.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Answer the phone. All right, this is 7:45. We take a quick break, and we're back with more of The Link on the Breeze. Good morning, Guam.
Pepsi Guam Bottling, a local company. We produce your favorite products right here on island, like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Hanum, Chamorro Punch, Tropical Ice, and more. We've invested millions into local production and will continue to upgrade our facilities and provide local jobs so you can truly buy local. Our long history of producing the freshest and best products will continue. This is our vision. Pepsi.
The Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam is pleased to announce the grand opening on October 10 at Suite 727 of the Guam International Trade Center. The event marks the 109th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan, known as Double 10 Day.
We have just one voice representing us in Congress, one person to advocate for all of our needs and tell Guam's story to the nation. That's why I'm running to be Guam's next delegate to Congress, to serve as the kind of representative you deserve. But what does a vote for me guarantee? It's a vote for someone who can tell the Guam story, our sacrifices, our struggles, and our triumphs, and why we matter to America. It's a vote for competency in securing more resources from the federal government, not as a handout, but because we are vital to the country. It's a vote for trustworthiness. Integrity and trust are not optional when representing you. They are required. I thank you for allowing me to serve Guam before, and I humbly ask you for your vote again. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Celebrate National Pizza Month with the Pepsi Pizza Report. Pepsi helps celebrate this tasty month with an easy way for you to win Pepsi and pizza. Post a photo of yourself enjoying your favorite Pepsi beverage to KOM News or Uno Instagram or Facebook pages to enter to win Pepsi and pizza from one of our pizza sponsors. Catch the Pepsi Pizza Report every Thursday on KOM News' The Link Morning Show and on the social media pages of KOM News for reports, tastings, and everything pizza and Pepsi.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Right, that launches today. They're doing house-to-house testing in Gilbaza.
And that was kind of the gist of the governor's special address, which you can catch on our KUAM News Instagram. I know it's up on our Facebook page, too, where she kind of made the case about her administration's response to the virus and how they continue to be alarmed by the high numbers. And so this rapid, what is it? Is it rapid engagement team?
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't get. I think it said rapid engagement team.
Yeah, so this rapid engagement team is. They've been talking about this for a few weeks. If you're on the show and you listen to The Link, Dr. Hoa brought this up a few weeks ago, and this is something that they've been trying to stand up. It's kind of like the A team of COVID-19 testing. They go out in the area and they did their assessment yesterday, and they'll be starting the house-to-house testing this morning. 7:49. Let's jump into the KUAM News Zoom room where we have from Analista & Co. Norm Analista is doing some great things with this Food Dog hoodie, Norm. So let's just, good morning, by the way.
Good morning. How you doing?
Norm.
And let me tell you, this is hoodie weather. Weather like this, that's when everybody on Guam wears their long sleeve pants, their long sleeve shirt. They start wearing their stocking cap, their winter clothes. So timing is right for this Food Dog hoodie drop, Norm.
Yeah, it sure is. We're really excited about it. You know, this collaboration just happened really quickly. Shall I just jump into how it all started?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So there's this model named Philip Fusco. He has over 1 million followers on Facebook and over 130,000 followers on Instagram. And we were able to connect on social media, and he was thinking of things to do in a fashion shoot. And I said, well, you know, you've got to do much more than simply showing clothes. There has to be a bigger purpose to all of this. And so we thought about some important dates. And, you know, this was a couple of months ago, and it turned out that October 10th was celebrated as World Mental Health Day. And this is something that the World Federation for Mental Health started when they were founded in 1948. They basically focus on global advocacy and awareness programs. So we talked about a location, and Phil is based in New York. So he thought of the King's Psychiatric Center in Kings Park. And that was an institution that was established in 1885. And it closed in 1996. So there's a lot of history to that location. So I said, you know, let's draw awareness to this effort. Why don't we do this photo shoot over there in Kings Park? And I think that'll get the conversation started. So for the months of October and November, $15 from every hoodie that is sold is going to benefit the Salvation Army Guam Corps Lighthouse Recovery Center, which helps individuals who are dealing with substance abuse. And, you know, the correlation between mental health and substance abuse is very strong, right? So one often leads to the other. So this is just our part to give back to the community. With the pandemic, it's caused so much anxiety for a lot of people who don't typically suffer from anxiety. So this is truly a community issue. And then, of course, we have to remember the fact that September was recognized as Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And according to statistics that I've read, since January of this year, we've had, I think it was 26 suicides that were committed, and just 15 of them were within the last 3 months. So this is a growing issue that really, truly needs to be addressed. And I basically, you know, I'm here to say that seeking treatment, seeking help for these issues that deal with the mind and, you know, emotional turbulence, there should not be a stigma for individuals wanting to get treatment for it. And I think that, you know, it takes people from different sectors, people from different industries to drive that message home so that more people can hear it.
Yeah, and I guess what made you decide that this was a cause that you really wanted to stand up for?
Bree, just the statistics that I've been seeing and reading about in the news, and just the overall feeling that's in the air right now. I mean, obviously, all of us are going through this. And I think that for individuals who are just not sure with how to deal with these issues, there's that stigma that exists that, they don't want to go out and seek help because, excuse the expression, people think that they're going crazy just because they don't know how to deal with these issues. And, Philip and I, and many people have basically advocated for the need for people to go out and seek help. And the stigma that exists, I feel that it's slowly fading away, but there's still a lot more things that need to happen to completely erase it. And I also tend to think it's a generational thing, right? Where today we feel more comfortable talking to people about our problems, but maybe a generation ago, it was really sort of taboo to bring your problems to people to talk about. It's what sort of shame is this going to bring to the family? What sort of negative consequences are going to come up as a result of it? But, if you leave these issues untreated, very similar to the way that diabetes goes unchecked, or if you don't get, treatment for your heart, if there's an ailing condition, these things will lead to very serious consequences. And so why is it that it's so difficult for people to go out and get help for these issues that affect the mind, but it's completely acceptable to go see a doctor for a broken bone, for example?
Right.
So we're just simply saying, we have this platform. Philip has a huge platform. Let's get this message across because I think more people need to hear it.
Right. How do we get the hoodie though, Norm? People want to know. And can you stand up and show that we got a comment here? What's the logo or emblem?
Okay. Right here.
Hey.
So this is the food.
Yeah, Bree, you got one of these, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, thank you. I liken it to how Versace has its Medusa head.
Yeah.
So this is Annalise & Company's version of the brand icon, the Food Dog. And,
It's really
I launched.
it's kind of skatery, Norm. It reminds me of like a skate apparel.
Yeah, this emblem has so many different, people interpret it in different ways, and I invite that. I consider it a form of art where you can interpret it in the way you want to. I developed this aesthetic because I was fascinated with the Food Dog, the Food Dog figurines, or at least the figure in Asian cultures that represents protection and prosperity and all that. But I wasn't attracted to the symbolism behind it. I was more attracted to the way the Food Dog looked, right?
Yeah.
Pretty fierce, but at the same time, it was very ornate. So I just wanted to play with that image, and then I've adopted it, and now it's become my brand icon.
Nice.
Okay, so where do people go to order the Food Dog? And again, some of the proceeds will go to Salvation Army Lighthouse.
So my website is still it's being it's under construction right now. It's currently being developed as we speak. But orders can be made through my Instagram account, and that's Analista_CO. And hit me up. And when the website goes up, then of course we could plug in orders through there. But in the meantime, I'm still accepting orders through my Instagram page. So I invite everybody to please support it. It's for a good cause.
All right. Thank you, Norm.
Thank you, Norm. You guys go grab you a Food Dog hoodie. It's rainy season. It's going to be great. All right, on. Not just for rainy season, Norm. You get a lot of people, they work somewhere where it's like really cold.
Like here.
Here at KUAM. Jason wears like 5 shirts. So you get you a Food Dog hoodie, Jay, and you just
Norm, I'm
save
in
on your
for
laundry
2
bill.
extra large, please. I'm in.
All right. Stay tuned, guys.
All right, take
get
care.
you, Norm. Appreciate it. There you go, Norm, Analista & Co. It's 7:56. We'll take a short break, and we're back with more of The Link on The Breeze, 93.9. Good morning, Guam.
Celebrate National Pizza Month with the Pepsi Pizza Report. Pepsi helps celebrate this tasty month with an easy way for you to win Pepsi and pizza. Post a photo of yourself enjoying your favorite Pepsi beverage to KOM News or Uno Instagram or Facebook pages to enter to win Pepsi and pizza from one of our pizza sponsors. Catch the Pepsi Pizza Report every Thursday on KOM News' The Link Morning Show and on the social media pages of KOM News for reports, tastings, and everything pizza and Pepsi.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Pepsi Guam Bottling, a local company. We produce your favorite products right here on island, like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Hanum, Chamorro Punch, Tropical Ice, and more. We've invested millions into local production and will continue to upgrade our facilities and provide local jobs so you can truly buy local. Our long history of producing the freshest and best products will continue. This is our vision. Pepsi Guam Bottling.
We have just one voice representing us in Congress, one person to advocate for all of our needs and tell Guam's story to the nation. That's why I'm running to be Guam's next delegate to Congress, to serve as the kind of representative you deserve. But what does a vote for me guarantee? It's a vote for someone who can tell the Guam story, our sacrifices, our struggles, and our triumphs, and why we matter to America. It's a vote for competency in securing more resources from the federal government, not as a handout, but because we are vital to the country. It's a vote for trustworthiness. Integrity and trust are not optional when representing you. They are required. I thank you for allowing me to serve Guam before, and I humbly ask you for your vote again. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
Kids medicine mayor research ne kisara chaurari sawal COVID-19. Miburin nageri warawat at si posopuero ne ferie petrie semwen. Awararu fito awen seri cots. Purpuraive puet nuporam nofiten. Terupom non ukukun rue second. Terugeri soap mekorik. Ikeseor soap mekorik. Ikewe hand sanitizer mayor orupesen arupornan. Terufiji ekoreri me pisekarabasra Son atapa kesapatapa wan mesom nawatireim ikeapuren me fisemwe. Epetin marao me marawen atsigitseng faviri pan marawatskits medicine. Epeti sawal me amarawakits. Retit sikire poraus katogeri kekeri irugatewe ikatawan ewe website tphss.com.gov/Japur. Translation is made possible by a grant from the U.S. Department of Interior Office of Insular Affairs.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
There have been 61 deaths to date. Additionally, GDOE confirms 2 more individuals have been infected with the coronavirus, one from GDOE's headquarters and the other from JFK High School. These cases are comprised of either GDOE employees or contractual workers and were identified through contact tracing efforts. As for hospitalizations, 57 COVID patients are hospitalized at the Guam Memorial Hospital. 12 are receiving ICU level of care. 4 are on a ventilator. At the Guam Regional Medical City, there are 3 COVID patients hospitalized there, and 2 are hospitalized at Naval Hospital in Agana Heights, and both are in ICU. Those are the latest numbers from the Joint Information Center released last night.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. This is The Link on the Breeze 93.9, where KUAM-FM and Agatni, Guam, proudly sponsored by Carrier. Keeping it cool. 647-COOL. IT&E, Calvo Enterprises, and the Thrive Coalition, where we remind you that it takes a whole entire island to raise healthy, drug-free youth. It's 8:01 to our viewers on KUAM TV. Thank you for being our Thunder Buddies this morning. And be safe, guys. We got a great day of programming on KUAM TV. And for our viewers over there, we ask that you jump over to our Facebook Live feed. Come on in. The water's warm, actually. Don't you love it when you're swimming in warm water? So come on over. All right. It's Edward R. Murrow, award-winning social media stuff. So again, to our viewers on KUAM TV, my name is Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
Adios. We're back. Hey, good morning. 8:01. Let's jump into the KUAM News Zoom room here and get right to it, where we have... from the Guam Chamber of Commerce. This is the Young'uns group here, the Guam Young Professionals.
To be young again.
Yeah. We got Anthony Mariano and Judy Rosario. Good morning. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. So what has the Guam Young Professionals been up to during PCOR 1? Did you guys participate in the rally? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a couple of us that did, not too many. Really, because of COVID-19 and the lockdowns, we've actually been pretty stagnant as a group. So we've had 1 or 2 events, but not too many. So, where I'm sure all the members are anxious and, they're waiting to see what else we can do next. But, right now we're just in the role of supporting our chamber organization with their initiatives. And so we're not as active as we have been last year or the years before. So, which is highly unusual for GYP.
Right.
But yeah, a couple of people are, we're really just also concentrating on our, on our home fronts and our jobs. And, with everything going on with the lockdown, a couple of us are parents, business owners. And so, there's a lot of things that need attending to and definitely also take up our time. So, it's just a matter of shifting our focuses right now.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Judy?
I agree with Anthony. It's this is the first time since the introduction of GYP that we haven't been as active, and a lot of that is obviously with all the cases, and especially in the Guam Young Professionals group. We want to make sure that we continue to keep our island safe. Important to all of us is keeping the island safe, but also hopefully opening up the economy again. And, individually, we all have to make decisions. And, from the forefront, we always try to make sure that, we listen to the different regulations that are given out from the government. And so that's why you'll see that we haven't really been as active. We're usually a very active organization where we do a lot of meetings together. We've done meetings where we've had to do Zoom meetings, and we've virtually started coming into this new environment of doing business and, working with the organization. But, it's tough. It's, we miss our members, and, we are so used to seeing each other even at lunch for the chamber luncheons, and, it's just a very different way of doing business, and also, just keeping the organization alive.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess you may not, you say you guys have been stagnant, but I'm sure you guys have been conversating, right? And like you said, over Zoom. What are some of the concerns that the Guam Young Professionals have with respect to our economy right now, or maybe even some ideas to get it going?
Like Anthony mentioned, is, for a lot of the focus that a lot of the Guam Young Professionals have right now is we all play different roles. Some of us are parents, so we're getting into really understanding and adjusting to homeschooling. At the same time, we all play positions within the business community, in the private and government sector. And then there's many of us that also own a small business. And I think for the small business community, at least on my, personally for me, and with the company that I have and a lot of the other small business partners that we've talked to in the membership, it's, how do we open the economy again? Because, for the first time in March when we closed down, it was new to everyone. And I don't think everybody expected that we were going to be closed that long. And then even to go back into PCOR 1 again in August, it really does take a toll on the business community. As we see in the different articles that we read, and also, where the news that you guys share, we've seen small businesses close, and
Right.
That really does break our heart, because young professionals, we've encouraged entrepreneurship, right? And we're about building our economy, but also building the small business community. And a lot of that you'll see business owners in our age group, in the Guam Young Professionals, and it's tough. It's just a few years ago, or even recently, people have been opening businesses even as early as January, and it's tough. It's hard to get, when we went on the lockdown, there's members that have tried to open in businesses and just had to hold that business, although they had to pay rent, and they had to pay water, and they had to pay power, and and also just keeping their teams alive. And so it's tough right now, I think, on the business community standpoint, especially for the small business. It's hard to be able to continue to run your business when we're on lockdown. And it is where we want to keep a healthy island, but at the same time we have to mitigate and eventually see how we can all work together to reopen the economy, so that businesses can continue to just stay afloat and then eventually thrive again.
Right. And you guys are, the young, bright minds, right, of the future, your organization. And so has anyone brought you guys discussions about recovery and maybe even tap into your ideas and suggestions? Have you guys been folded into any sort of conversation at all?
For me, I think right now, we're at that starting point. Like I said, as a membership, we've been a little bit, we've been quiet, but now that we're really starting to get in on the discussion in regards to, the economy, we're getting active with, this year's election as well, and really just we're going to be start to communicate those key initiatives to our membership so that we can also tap into our individual members' perspectives and also get their feedback and where they stand with the situation of our economy and also where they stand with the elections and the candidates as well. One thing unique about GYP is it's not just a committee, it's a membership of 160 plus individuals. So, everybody has a difference of opinion as we do have some commonalities. So I know that with the chamber, they're excited to hear what we have to say, and they definitely want us part of that discussion. And so it's just a matter of us really pushing through with that. Like I said, we're on the starting point, and so we do plan on getting more vocal as far as our involvement and also just contributing to the conversation and giving our ideas. Because like you said, our demographic, we are the future for the business community and also the island. And so, we play a key role in the development and the reopening of the economy as well.
Yeah, guys, hey, it's Jason here. And I wanted to follow up on Sabrina's question because I know we had Austin Terlahi, who is doing really, really great work with the PMBA program over at UOG a few weeks ago. And he was saying that, the value of having MBAs in your organization is, the ability to think very quickly and think innovatively and really think outside the box. And with the generation that typically makes up the Guam young professionals leading up to the age of 40, that generation is really known for having the disruptive mindset, or, we realize that, throughout industry, like in wholesaling or in shipping, there are tried and true business models, but, you can think about it in a different way and you can approach a problem from a variety of different perspectives that maybe a previous generation would not consider. So, maybe give us some examples of how you can, of what you guys can bring with your fresh perspectives and ideas and way of thinking about, different business models, and maybe bring those to existing businesses and just say, we're in really, really weird times. They're unprecedented, but there's some things we can bring to the table as far as, not only letting us survive and just getting by, but, we can actually create new revenue models. We can actually, hopefully thrive.
Yeah, when you're, and we're big on social media, right? So if you look at the social media, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, a lot of what you'll see if you follow a lot of the different businesses locally as well as globally is they're encouraging people or businesses to re-strategize their company and look at different avenues of recreating revenue. And one of the things I think that some of the business or some of the small businesses have done that within the membership is they went through virtual environments. An example is with myself and Synergy Studios is one of the things that we did is our vision and our focus is always about keeping the island healthy, but how do we do that without having people come in? People are still uncomfortable, right? Being in groups is one of the things that we launched was we launched an online portal where you can sign up for virtual classes. And so now we have over 100 classes that we offer in the month, and more than half of that is all done virtually. So I think moving into a virtual platform and really taking advantage of the data, the different applications that are out there, it's really nice to see that businesses have also moved into a more virtual environment where they have Teams, they have Zoom, they have, Google Meets and different applications to be able to still stay connected, but still be able to run their business. But a lot of it is really going to be, how do I re-strategize my company and what my vision of my company is and meet the goals of my company, but doing it through a virtual environment. So there's a lot of studios and gyms in the fitness side that have moved to a virtual environment. A lot of companies that, Anthony and on our team, we're talking about, trainings, but let's do the trainings via Zoom. I know that there have been some of the chamber events that have been done via Zoom as well, but how do we keep connected? And I think that's really what it is. how do we use the existing platforms that are available to us right now, and how do we get our business and migrate them to a virtual environment? And how do we continue connecting with our membership and those that are within the business community?
Yeah, and that's really why we wanted to have you guys on here, just to ensure, because we need all hands on deck, right? And hopefully, you know, your voices as part of the GYP are being heard by our leaders, because I know that you guys have a lot to bring to the table as we head into recovery. Was there any other final things that you wanted to say in terms of what you guys plan to do going forward?
You know, one of the things that Anthony and I were just chatting a little bit earlier, and you know, a lot of now is being a little bit more innovative. And you know, I mean, not all businesses can run their business virtually. There's still a lot of our memberships that own retail stores and you know, other different kinds of businesses and restaurants. And you know, we just have to adjust. We have to adjust to really what we're working with right now. But I think one of the things that Anthony and I were talking about that made that was just like a light bulb is, right now, DPHSS is really trying to keep the numbers down. But at the same time, how can we continue to support our schools? When they first started, before, I think it was in, I guess, March, April, May, around that time, there was a group of business individuals that were in a forum that had discussed how do we reopen Guam and the economy. And they did reach out to a few of the small business young professionals. You know, if we were to reopen the economy and you were going to reopen your business, what are the processes that you would have in your particular business to ensure the safety of, you know, those that are coming into your establishment? And, you know, it was really nice that they reached out to us. And I think the business community in a whole, we really have come together with the chambers to really stay strong and, you know, really fight the fight of staying healthy, but also economically. Is a huge part of being able to continue to grow and stay at least floating, you know, within this pandemic that we're in. But one of the things that we're talking about is, you know, let the businesses, small businesses open up, and maybe we have DPHSS go to the different establishments, you know, how we're doing the tracing and everything, but, you know, just check in and making sure that, you know, this is the regulations that I set for my company. You know, here's a small visit from someone. Are you following, you know, taking temperatures and making sure that you have hand sanitizers around? Is everybody wearing masks? And are we all practicing social distancing? And I think it's something that can be implemented. Just, you know, I mean, for now, we do have to be a little bit more watched. I know that the businesses have been opening, and there was an article that mentioned that, you know, right now the second highest, I guess, contact tracing is within the business community, the establishments that have opened. But, you know, at the same time, I think that individually, even as business owners, we're all on board to set the measurements that we need to keep the island healthy and to keep the business healthy. And I've been in a lot of, you know, I'm in and out of different places, whether I need to go into the supermarket or, you know, for the studio or, you know, the different businesses such as KUAM. And, you know, you see the stickers, the 6 feet apart, you see everybody wearing masks. You know, it's just friendly reminders. And as business owners, we all can play a role in keeping the island healthy by, you know, taking care of our establishment and who walks into these establishments. But, you know, I mean, that's not a bad idea to just have regulations from the government to go around to the different businesses. That way we can slowly open up, and then we can eventually start building our economy again. And hopefully that will help also keep the numbers down. But that's just a thought that we had. You know, for the most part, if businesses can take it to a virtual environment, we definitely do encourage that, and, you know, just stay connected virtually.
Thanks, Judy. Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, you know, and I know that you had said at the start that you'd been stagnant, but, you know, a lot of your peers in the GYP, I mean, you guys are like marketers, right? Do you think you could have done more maybe early on to put out some messaging for some of the younger folks out here, maybe to kind of mitigate the situation that we're seeing now?
I think, yeah, there's always an opportunity to improve. And I think, yes, definitely we could have been earlier in the game as far as, you know, getting the messages out. Again, though, because we are a subcommittee, we're also wanting to make sure that we align with our organization. So now that we actually have really the full gist of the directions, you know, we're really in the seat to start contributing our thoughts and our perspectives, and also, our ideas and some strategies that, we briefly talked about. And, really empowering our members to start playing a more active role in what we're going to do, as not just as a committee, but also as a full-fledged organization as well. And I do want to just touch back on what Judy was mentioning about the, about the DPHSS inspections. We just want to remind everyone that, it is a communal effort, even in the business community, that, we keep our economy healthy and safe. And, we just want to make sure that we as individuals are also embracing the guidelines and following it, following the protocols, and just keeping our individual businesses safe, and then in turn, if everybody does it, then, we all make an effort and a step towards reopening the economy successfully. And another thing is that we were talking about also is we definitely don't want to go back to PR1 where businesses are shut down. And we're hoping that with these individual inspections that, unfortunately, if a business is not following the protocol, then it's like a regular health inspection, and that particular business is shut down for not following the guidelines and for violating the guidelines, as opposed to penalizing every other small business for a couple of areas that were not following the protocols and gaining or receiving infections as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Right. So we're hoping at least on that front, with government's help, we can make more of a progressive step towards opening the economy again.
Yeah. It's kind of a struggle though when you see like we had Janella from Public Health on yesterday talking about obvious violations that occurred at McCrouts over the weekend. So it's frustrating when you have these businesses who are doing what they have to do, and then you have businesses that flagrantly flout the protocols that are supposed to keep us safe from this virus. And then what happens? They get, what was it? Admonished. They get a hard talking to. It's just not consistent. You know what I mean? When we have some other businesses that break the rules and they get shut down. So, and then it's frustrating because people look at these businesses that break the rules with the gathering and the no masking and all that stuff and no social distancing. And it makes the other businesses look bad because then you get in the comments like, "Oh, we're gonna open. We're gonna open. What do you know what I mean?" It's just frustrating.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Chris. It's really about consistency. If we're going to enforce these procedures, then we need to be fair across the board, and as a matter of fact, strict with everybody. Whether you're a small business, you're a large business, you're new to the game. This is what we need to do to keep our community safe. And, outside of the business community, it's a communal effort for everybody. So it goes beyond just what we're doing in our businesses. It goes even into our personal gatherings. If there's a limit of 5 people, then keep that limit of 5 people. Don't try to sneak in an extra person or two. Because I think that's what's going on is that, some people, not everyone is taking it lightly. But it only takes a few people to take it lightly for this thing to spread, and we all see that.
Right.
And one of the things we discuss as young professionals is that in the bigger scheme, the larger picture is that Guam's economy, one of the major revenue generators is our tourism economy, and if we're classified as a hot zone, we're really not going to open that particular leg of the economy anytime soon. We have an employment figure of 35,000 people. And a large part of that is within the tourism and hospitality industry. And, one of the things we like to do is within our individuals, businesses and our team is just remind everyone, like, wear your mask. It's tedious, but it's something that needs to happen.
Also, before we let you go, any message you guys would like to get out? Because I know that in your particular demographic, anywhere between 20 to 49 years old, that's where we're seeing a lot of numbers pick up in terms of the positives. Is there anything you guys would like to share, I guess, with your age group?
Really, again, just reminders of what we should do to keep our community safe. Like you said, our age demographic is the largest contributor to it. So aside from a reminder, I just want to let everyone know that, the sooner that we follow the guidelines and the protocols and we to reopen our economy and getting back our lives to whatever normal is after this. So, just to be conscious about what we do and our choices every day.
you know, also for our membership, really, that we still are available on our different platforms, from Facebook to our emails to Instagram, is, message us and let us know your thoughts. Let us know, if there is any ideas, or, if you have things that you want to add to being able to create a safer island, let us know on Instagram, or, feel free to call us or the chambers. And, we definitely want to hear what the business community has to say, as well as the membership. But, it's about individual decisions, and then on the business standpoint for all the businesses, making sure that the guidelines are set, and that, we do right now, we have to be strict with it. So.
Well, thank you, Judy and Anthony, for coming on the show. Look forward to hearing more of your ideas, right? So take care and stay safe.
Yeah, stay home.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Judy, Anthony, Esther.
right.
Hey, grab some virtual malasadas out there and on your way out.
I had some.
Okay.
Thank you.
8:23. We'll take a short break and come back with more of the link. Mayor Rudy Matanani of COVID hotspot Gigo is coming on next here. Good morning.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We are in the middle of the most serious health crisis of our lives, and it affects everything from jobs to schools to the way we live. In addition to worrying about recovery, we must now worry about healthcare. And we shouldn't have to make choices between food and medicine, going to the doctor, or buying gas. We all need access to healthcare, and now more than ever, we need hospitals and clinics which can respond to pandemics. We must get the vaccines and new treatments for COVID-19. We must be ready with ventilators and partnerships with the federal government for our emergency facilities, and have pandemic plans which provide a secure safety net. We must be ready for the next crisis. And this takes a leader in Washington who is trustworthy and will work with local leaders and experts. This is why I am running for Congress. I humbly ask you for your vote. Si Diyos maasi, maraming salamat po. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
Your generosity can change lives. Disasters won't stop during this global pandemic, so neither will we. The Guam chapter of the American Red Cross is calling on the continued support of the community to assist with their mission of providing disaster relief and recovery efforts, military family support, and life-saving training and certifications. In times of emergency, our support will not waver, and we pray that your support of our efforts will continue as well. We invite you to join us in commemorating our 20th annual signature fundraiser virtually this year by supporting the Red Ball in a Box. We will be delivering special red boxes, which include a 4-course dinner from Micronesian Chefs Association and wine to our patrons and sponsors. As a sponsor, your company and message will also be featured in a special television tribute to the Guam chapter of the American Red Cross. For sponsorship opportunities and more information, please call 688-0280 or visit our Instagram or Facebook page. Let's support our community. Though we're apart, we're still together in generosity and support.
The Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam is pleased to announce the grand opening on October 10 at Suite 727 of the Guam International Trade Center. The event marks the 109th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan, known as Double 10 Day.
Kids medicine mayor research ne kisara chaurari sawal COVID-19. Me wurin nageri warawat at si posopuero ne ferie petrie semwen. Awarauru fito awen seri cots. Purpuraive puet nuporam nofiten. Terupom non ukukun rueseken. Terugeri soap mekorik. Ikeseor soap mekorik. Ikewe hand sanitizer mayor orupesen arupornan. Terufiji ekoreri me pisekarabasra Son atapa, kesapatapa, wan mesom, nawatireim, ikeapuren me fisemwen. Epetin maraom, me marawen atsigitseng faviri, pan marawatskits medicine. Epeti sawal, me amarawakits. Retit sikire poros, katogeri kakeri urugatewe, ikatawan, ewe website tphss.com.gov, Kriso Japur. Translation is made possible by a grant from the U.S. Department of Interior, Office of Insular Affairs.
Think about it. This is the 36th anniversary of October named as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The KOAM Care Force encourages you to think pink this October with our social media presentation, Pink About It, on October 22nd, and our KOAM News 5-part series, Awareness is Power, airing from the 19th to the 23rd, featuring a few incredible cancer warriors and the importance of screening and managing this disease. Think Pink is brought to you by Island Cancer Center.
What did I do to deserve you? Shaggy.
Oh, I was like Shaggy or Shabba Ranks.
Yeah, Shabba. Austin Saraloo. I figure we're going to go to Jigo. Let's go to Jigo in style. And one of the villages that's been designated a COVID hotspot. At Jigo, as public health. Crocs are on the ground this morning. Bree, they're already underway, right, with the house-to-house testing?
Well, according to Ms. Gay, who was on our show, the HNIC, the head nurse in charge of over at Public Health, they are. She was getting ready. Once she got off the phone with us, she was gonna put on her scrubs and head on out with her team to start doing the house-to-house testing, starting at Gilbaza.
And let's bring on Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani, who's grown out his beard for Christmas. Hi, Mayor.
Trin.
Good morning, Mayor.
Yep, you're on.
Mayor, we're on. Good morning, Mayor.
Morning.
Hi.
So, what's happening up in your village right now?
Well, there's going to be testing at Zero Down. You know, there's two parts of Zero Down. One they actually call Zero Down, and the other one is Buzwani. So they're going to be testing starting at 9 a.m. till 3:30 today and tomorrow.
What about Gilbaza? Is Gilbaza in that area? Or is that a different?
No. Well, yeah, that's different. That's over at East Gajanero, up on the hill.
Okay, so they're going to Zero Down first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I think the whole place is Gilbaza. Gil Breeze is another one. That's Gilbaza, also known as Zero Down, the one that they're testing today, tomorrow.
Are they going to Gil Breeze too, or just Gilbaza?
No, just Gilbaza.
Okay, all right.
What I'm saying is Gilbaza has two sections, Zero Dawn and Buzwani.
Buzwani. And when did you first find out about this rapid engagement team being deployed to Jigo, and I guess Jigo being this hotbed of COVID?
Well, I've been hearing that, you know, they've been having problems, and that Zero Dawn was the hotspot. So they said that they were going to be gathering at YJ Market, which is the store that's right outside the entrance of Zero Dawn. And I was there when they were discussing the plan on how they're going to go about, you know, passing out the date on which when they're going to be testing. And I think they're also passing out packages that has some of them have masks, gloves, and other supplies.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Right. So was this like a couple weeks ago that you were notified that there was going to be this rapid engagement team doing this assessment in the house to house? When did you find out?
I don't ever remember them letting me know that they were going to do that. It was just, I think, the day before that I heard that they were going to be over at Zero Dawn. And that's when I decided to just be there so I can assist in any way that we can.
So how will you guys be assisting?
Setting up canopies and chairs and tables and and that's today and tomorrow.
Can you tell us about the community over there at Zero Down? How many people?
What was that?
Can you tell us about the community over there at Zero Down?
Okay, there's I know that the one on the outside has about 70 homes, and in a lot of lots there, it looks like there's about 2 different families that stay in one lot. So in the first one, I kind of counted, and there were about 71 houses, and in the inside it was about 51 houses. But to be honest with you, I cannot exactly say how many people are in there, but I'm pretty sure that it's around 300, 400 people, somewhere around there.
That live within these, you said 71?
These 2 sections, yes.
Right.
So about 120 homes. Is that what you said?
Something like that.
And that's just the zero down portion, right? Or is that Zero Down and Bourjouani?
Yes, that's 2 sections, and those are the furthest in, because in the front there's a lot of other houses there.
What are the sort of the houses? What are the living conditions of these homes? Are we talking like wooden structures or concrete homes?
There's different kind of structures there. There's and I think I noticed that there's a couple of 2-story houses. There's concrete houses.
Yeah, you cut out, Mayor.
Mayor, unmute, Mayor. Unmute. I think he leaned on the mute button.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you go.
I can't hardly hear you, Sabrina.
Yeah, if we could go back to just talking about the type of homes that are there.
I still can't hardly hear you. Here we go. There.
Okay, yeah. If you could go back to the type of homes that are there, and also are these like multi-generational families that are living in these homes?
I know that there's Chukis. I don't know if they fall under Micronesian, and there's Filipinos and a couple of Chamorros probably in there.
Are you also working with the FSM Consul General, or was she in the meeting that you participated in the other day?
No, I never spoke to him. I never saw him. And that's kind of funny, This is a very serious thing that's going on here, and I don't know. I think this coronavirus is messing us up.
Was any member from the FSM community present in the meeting that you had with everybody at that? You said JNS, Mark, or the Jigo Gym, or
YJ Mark? I Sabrina, when I got there was a group of people that were was being instructed by one person, but I was never involved in the conversation. The only person that spoke to me there, I think, was Bertha.
Bertha Tyron?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard anything from the residents in that area, though, prior to this whole mass testing, this targeted testing, I'm sorry? Have you heard any concerns from residents in those areas?
Sabrina, I'm glad you asked that. I have my clerk stays there. But, there's another thing that was happening about the Jigo Mayor's office. Somebody said that the Jigo Mayor's office was closed because of coronavirus infection. That is far from the truth. The reason why I closed the office is because there was I had an employee that worked here, but haven't been coming to work, and her daughter-in-law tested positive. That's the reason why I closed the office, but there was no testing of anybody being positive with coronavirus. I closed the office just for safety. I didn't want anybody to be coronavirus positive here, and we're accepting residents coming in here and asking for help and stuff like that. I just, it was a precautionary measure. And when I spoke to public health, they said that it's a good thing and we should keep it closed until we know what's really happening here. Mm-hmm. So the Jigo Mayor's office wasn't closed because there was a positive employee. That's false. Mm-hmm. So there's media that's passing that around, and that's very unfair.
Mayor, what was it like when you found out that your village was a hotspot of COVID-19?
Yeah, well, that's just something we have to accept. It wasn't a good thing. Something like this is new to us, so we just gotta work with the flow and try to make things as better as possible as we can. But it was bad news, let me tell you, most especially if you're just this from the wind and nobody has informed the mayor of that village that one of the parts of the village is infected with coronavirus.
Yeah.
I think that we should all work together, because that's the best way to defeat this animal, because we cannot see it.
Right. Yeah, don't feel bad, Mayor. We found out from a WhatsApp. That's how we found out.
Yeah, there's people that sometimes talk and they don't know what they're talking about. So maybe we should just work together, and I hope people are listening, because the best way to defeat this virus is to work together.
Right. So I guess, what's the plan? I mean, from what you understand, what's the plan?
Sabrina, as far as I know now, the plan is that they're gonna test everybody at zero down and treat them accordingly. And they're gonna be doing that today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Are there a lot of children in these two areas?
Yes, there is.
How concerned are you about what's happening up there? And
Very
I guess
concerned.
also on top of the fact that would you consider yourself one of the last to know? I mean,
Yeah, and I hope that this is a learning experience. We got to work together here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that public health is overwhelmed. I can understand that to a certain extent. We're all humans, and most especially with something new as this coronavirus that we cannot see.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you that we should work together here.
Do you have staff that deliver food to that particular those areas? Or
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I also mentioned that I have one of my clerks stays there.
Mm-hmm. And how is she doing?
And that she's okay. One of the things that was going on is that she tested positive,
Right.
and she's working at the office, and that's
Not
far from the truth. So I think that when something like that goes around, it doesn't matter what village, or it doesn't matter what the situation is. When something goes around like that, we should find out what the truth is first.
Mayor, what's your message to the residents in your village?
Well, my message is that, we all keep calm. We try to do our best to stay healthy. And if you're feeling different, and I think some of the symptoms here is sweating, what, fever, coughing, shortness of breath. This coronavirus is new. So if you're feeling sick, maybe you should go to the hospital and find out, what's wrong with you. Because, this coronavirus, we can fight it. There doesn't have to be any, people dying here. But what's killing us is we wait until it's all over us already, and there's nothing that we can do to help the individual. So if you're feeling sick, go to the hospital. That's a big message, okay? And I'm not saying this just for the residents of Jigo, because with everything that's happening here in Jigo, I'm pretty sure that this virus has already spread to other villages. So to everyone, if you're feeling sick, don't stay at home. Go see the doctor, man, because that's the only way you can fight this. Because for any sickness, if you catch it early, you can defeat it. But if you let this virus get into your system, it's hard to fight it. Most especially if you have underlying health issues like I do. And we never know who's contaminated, and you're not doing us any favors if you just stick to yourself and you don't try to get help.
All right, thanks a lot, Mayor. Stay
You're
safe.
very welcome.
Stay safe.
Prayers are with you in your village, Mayor.
Pardon me?
Our prayers are with you in your village. Viva Santa Maria Carmelin.
We need all the prayers, and I hope that all the villages are learning from Jigo.
There you go.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. God
That's
bless all of you.
Okay.
Jason, Chris, Sabrina, keep the mask on.
Joss. There you go. Mayor Rudy Mantanani. Frustrated. The last to know. But it's a story we've heard every day in this pandemic. Mayors, they're not in. They're out of the loop.
But he's moving forward. Got to work together. Got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so today they are starting the door-to-door testing in Zero Down. And he said Bourgeoisie. It's all part of the Gilbaza subdivision in the village of Jigo. He said there's about over 120 homes, lots of children. It's a mix of Chiquis families, Filipino families, Chamorro families, and one of them is a staff member of his who lives in the Gilbaza subdivision. And again, his office is closed. They are, I want to say, teleworking. It is closed after one of the employees was exposed to a positive case.
There you go. 8:45, we'll take a short break. We're coming back with Harvest Christian and the Catholic schools next on the KUAM News Zoom Room. Again, it's the link on the breeze. Good morning.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Pepsi Guam Bottling, a local company. We produce your favorite products right here on island, like Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Hanum, Chamorro Punch, Tropical Ice, and more. We've invested millions into local production and will continue to upgrade our facilities and provide local jobs so you can truly buy local. Our long history of producing the freshest and best products will continue. This is our vision. Pepsi Guam Bottling.
The Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Shopping Fair is coming on Sunday, November 29th. It's the 3rd annual Christmas Pops event with local artisans, crafters, and businesses in a reimagined and safe way for you to shop. As many small businesses struggle to survive, the call to buy local is greater than ever. To learn more and participate in this one-of-a-kind multimedia marketplace event on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications, bringing together the island's biggest array of local vendors, email bettyann@kuam.com or visit kuam.com.
Your generosity can change lives. Disasters won't stop during this global pandemic, so neither will we. The Guam chapter of the American Red Cross is calling on the continued support of the community to assist with their mission of providing disaster relief and recovery efforts, military family support, and life-saving training and certifications. In times of emergency, our support will not waver, and we pray that your support of our efforts will continue as well. We invite you to join us in commemorating our 20th annual signature fundraiser virtually this year by supporting the Red Ball in a Box. We will be delivering special red boxes, which include a 4-course dinner from Micronesian Chefs Association and wine to our patrons and sponsors. As a sponsor, your company and message will also be featured in a special television tribute to the Guam chapter of the American Red Cross. For sponsorship opportunities and more information, please call 688-0280 or visit our Instagram or Facebook page. Let's support our community. Though we're apart, we're still together in generosity and support.
I'm not sure it was a miscommunication or a lack of communication. They're kind of different, little different. But I just can imagine, right? Because public health has so much going on. I mean, God, they're out here fighting the virus. There's whole agencies that aren't even working. So, public health kind of got their hands full. Maybe we could get someone to help them out. But I wonder if they showed up. They're like, hey, did you guys call the mayor? What? Call the mayor? I thought you were going to call the mayor. I thought you were going to call the mayor. Never mind. He's a Republican. Good morning. 8:50. Yeah, there's a press conference today with the Office of the Governor. Governor's we're going to come out and talk to the people. That's going on at 2 p.m. And, of course, we'll be streaming it live on our KUAM News Facebook page. We'll throw it up here on the Breeze 93.9. The Gov had released a special message yesterday, which she put up on her Facebook. However, it was taken down because it's a little awkward. But they used copyrighted music from NBC on it, and when you put something up on Facebook, they flag it, they take it down. So I don't know if they reworked that special message, but we do have it on our KUAM News Facebook and KUAM News Instagram. If you guys want to go ahead and watch that, and I'm pretty sure they're going to expand upon that special message, the press conference this morning. So let's go to the KUAM News Zoom room where we have standing by Jeremy Zaitchik from Harvest Christian and Dr. Juan Flores of the Catholic schools here. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Hey, good morning.
Morning. So we wanted to bring you on, Jeremy, because I'd heard that there were some meetings that had taken place, and I know at the very least discussions about starting up with the face-to-face learning. You guys over at Harvest had come out with kind of like an opinion piece about the importance of face-to-face learning and how obviously it doesn't compare to what we're doing now with the online or the hard copy or whatnot. So I kind of wanted to start there. What can you tell us about that conversation and how far along is it?
Yeah, thank you. It's been 215 days or 7 months since, the last time we were in face-to-face education. And of course, we're paying attention to the news and we want to be sensitive to the number of hospitalizations and the spread of the virus on our island. We just want to continually advocate for the choice for schools to open in Guam. We believe that we can do it safely. We believe that we can do school safely, and so we're trying to advocate for that choice. We've done an open opinion letter to the papers. We've been in communication with the governor in her office and other groups that advise the governor, and just trying to respectfully make the plea for the opportunity for us to have a choice to open the school. And not that every school needs to open, but as schools are ready, advocating for that choice. If you think about education, it's just so fundamental to society. It provides freedom, it provides prosperity. And if you look back through history, when education isn't a critical infrastructure piece or an essential piece, long-term bad things happen. And so, I just have had some encouraging meetings with different folks. There is more and more data being released that, coronavirus doesn't spread in schools. A lot of this is stateside data, obviously, and some other countries. And we want to be careful not to cherry pick, reports that support our position, because you could probably find other reports that are against the position as well. But just, if you look at, I was just researching the number of states that are required closed in the states. It's Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Everyone else has the opportunity, and there's some precautions and safeguards, which of course we want to follow. Our reentry plan takes all those things into account from the CDC and Department of Health and Social Services. So just really advocating for the opportunity to have some choice to give it to parents for face-to-face education, because we do hear from our parents that, well, virtual education, we're doing it well and we're improving every day. It's not the same. There's social components, there's mental health components that are lacking, that are just difficult to communicate through Zoom.
We'll go and bring on Dr. Juan. Doc Juan, has there been any conversation on you guys' side with the Catholic schools about going back to physically present, face-to-face learning?
Yeah, last week we had a meeting with all the principals of the Catholic schools, and the majority of them are not eager to open schools right now. I don't disagree with anything Jeremy is saying, including the notion that the transmission of the virus probably won't take place within the confines of a school. One of the concerns that I've brought up and other principals have brought up is when we're in school and the kids are in cohorts and we exercise social distancing and we make sure that we monitor the kids' activities, I think we're pretty assured that we're preventing the kids from interacting with each other. It's not 100%. The problem is that for many of our students, they have extended families and they are not staying home when they leave school. When I've gone to the store and I see a lot of kids in stores. I see a lot of kids who are around with their parents. I'm not saying that they should stay home, but the problem is if we can't have cohort living, meaning everybody's going to be just confined to the group that they're with, then we're increasing the chances of that transmission in school. And we even have teachers, elderly teachers especially, who are very concerned about coming back to school. We have families that are concerned that they have elderly parents or grandparents at home, elderly relatives, and they don't want them to be exposed if the kids go to school. One of the issues that has come up with the principals is that if there's a choice to open, and because we're tuition-driven schools, we've got to keep this in mind. If the families are not ready to send their kids to school, then we've got to find an alternative system, a distance learning system for those kids. The problem is most schools don't have the staff to run both. That even if we have the kids in class, even if they're observing class synchronously through webcams, the teachers still have to interact with those kids. So they have to set up some kind of system to interact with those kids. And the problem is that the teachers can't do both. They can't work on their day-to-day face-to-face classes and then move on to run an online program. And so ideally, when we can forget that the transmissions could take place, we would come back. I mean, there's nothing more. I got to tell you that whenever I have Zoom meetings, and I just had one last night with a small group of kids, it's the most rewarding thing to see their faces. And I wish I could see their faces live. The issue is, and last night with one of the students, her grandmother was in the room with her, and it was great to see her. But if that child went to school and somehow was infected, she's going to take the virus home to her grandmother, who may be vulnerable. And I think that's what we're worried about. I agree that right within school, within cohorts, with all the masks and the social distancing in school, we can prevent transmission. But if the kids are coming to school with it, it's very difficult to assure that everybody's going to be safe. So those are some of the concerns. We have a meeting this afternoon, and I know Jeremy and others had a meeting on Monday with the Education Committee of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group, and we have ours this afternoon, hopefully to talk about what are the parameters for making decisions about opening the schools, or what are the precautions to take if we did open schools.
Right. Jeremy, we had Superintendent John Fernandez on yesterday, and he had a chart, and it kind of is modeled off a CDC table that they use where they factor in all the COVID stuff, and they spit out a determination of whether or not it's a wise time to open. Basically, that's a kind of a broad generalization. That being said, he was saying that maybe anticipating next year, January, possibly face-to-face. I mean, of course, all contingent upon where we go with the virus. Could you guys wait that long at Harvest, Jeremy? Or is that something you guys are looking at doing? Or are you ready to just get back in there?
We're going to respect, the authority of the governor and Department of Health that are making these decisions. We're going to abide by their rules. We just feel like there hasn't been a voice. We need to start these conversations early. Maybe right now is not the right time. I mean, Juan had brought up two specific things that we work through as well. Multi-generational households are a concern. And the ability for teachers to do both virtual learning and face-to-face education, so providing choice to parents, is really difficult. And we're involving them in the process of how that can be done. And depending on the age group, it's a little bit easier. Older grades, it can be implemented fairly easily. Younger grades, it gets more difficult, especially as you go down to where they're starting to learn to read, and schedules are difficult to manage in a classroom, let alone coordinating that through Zoom. So I saw the article that you guys had posted too about Department of Education, restarting and thinking about restarting their planning committee for reopening. And we don't want to be surprised by the fact when the governor says we can open. We want to be fully ready. And what we're saying is we think we're fully ready right now, and we'll just continue to wait. And yeah, we want to apply a little bit of pressure just because I think it's important. We weigh not just physical health, but mental health and academic health. And so we just want to respectfully keep applying that pressure to the people that are making the policy decisions for Guam.
At my son's school, they sent out a parent survey, I guess, to kind of get a gauge at our comfort level of sending our children back to school. So what are you guys hearing from parents? And we'll start again with you, Jeremy. Are they, I guess, willing to send their children back to face-to-face?
When the very beginning of school, we had 1 day of school.
Yeah.
Before we went back from PCOR 3 to PCOR 1. And we did a survey at that point, and a very, very large majority of our parents wanted face-to-face education. So this is driving a part of it. Of course, there are parents that are still concerned, like, even opinions that differ within a household, right? And so we shouldn't be surprised by the fact that parents want different things. We're trying to accommodate all those things, but also make the decision that's best for the entire group as well. And so we want to stay in touch with parents, and they do give us feedback, and we do value that feedback. We continue to want to receive it.
Mm-hmm. What if we do go back into, you guys implement face-to-face, and there's still parents that aren't comfortable with sending their children back to school? I mean, will that be still an option for them?
Yeah, even in the very beginning, when we opened for the first day, we didn't force parents to come back. We provided a limited online option. Now that we've done online successfully now for the first quarter, we're closing our first academic quarter on Friday, and it's been 9 weeks. Teachers have increased in their comfort level. We've come so far in what we started with. We want to be able to continue to offer choice to parents, and that's our goal. And part of it is, like I said, we're engaging our teachers to see what is reasonable and what are they capable of from delivering, synchronous, which means live and Zoom, or pre-recorded, or just support via homework, at the end of the day with students and parents that are concerned.
Juan?
Yeah, last week I got a phone call. I've only had one phone call from a parent of one of the schools who beat me up on the phone for not doing anything to force the governor to open schools. And after 20 minutes, I got her down to, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I still want the schools to open. But the issue is, and most of the schools are doing surveys. I talked to another non-public school head the other day, not a Catholic school, and the concern is that the surveys don't necessarily give a mandate from the families. Jeremy mentioned that people will disagree, obviously, but again, because the difference between the non-public schools and the public schools, regardless of what the public schools do, their schools are going to continue to function in the manner that they want, right? And the government continues to provide the funding for those schools. If we don't provide the services to the families are going to disenroll their kids. I mean, I'm at a school where last week a parent enrolled her daughter in the school, even though we were doing distance learning, because she was concerned about what was not happening in a public school, and paid tuition for the whole year. I don't know that our faculties and families want to wait until January. I'll be honest. I think on a daily basis, while Jerry mentioned that the teachers are getting comfortable. Yep, they're getting comfortable. They're ironing out all the kinks, but I'll tell you, they're not happy. They're not happy that they're not having that direct contact with the kids, and they're not identifying. There's some key issues with kids that they're not identifying. And sometimes it's just a matter of pulling a kid aside in the classroom and saying, hey, is everything okay? Tough to do that in Google Meet or on a Zoom session. And sometimes we have to engage parents more than we have in the past, because we want to have a conversation about whether or not kids' well-being is being addressed. So I think the parents make themselves known. We pay attention to what we're reading and hearing and seeing all around us. But the bottom line is, we've got to make sure that whatever we have to follow, we've got to be able to provide the best education for the students, or the families will leave our schools, and we can't afford that.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
When you think about,
go ahead, Jeremy.
When you think about the role of a teacher, you guys have had some of my principals on in the past, and the reason they're teachers is because they want to make that impact face to face. And if you think back to your school, some of the most impactful teachers are they're able to inspire you to achieve beyond what you think you can do. That's really difficult, over Zoom. Can it be done? Yeah, we're still trying to make those efforts happen. But the reality is, the compounding effect of just not having education like it should be done. I'm really nervous that the compounding, impact of this is going to be not what we want. And I just want to advocate, education is absolutely essential to society, and we just need to do our best to make sure that we're providing the best education for our kids.
The one thing that I've brought up several times is the malls are open. Some of the outdoor seating and restaurants are open. You can go get a haircut, which I've got to get pretty soon. But those are choices. Even church is a choice, right? I haven't been inside of a church for a while, but I attend Mass every Sunday. But school is not really a choice. It either is going to happen face to face or it's going to happen virtually. But for kids, it's not a choice. It's not something they could choose to just not be in school. And so that's what makes these decisions very difficult. We're not talking about an economic situation here. We're not talking about a commercial venture. We're talking about activities that kids are supposed to be involved in and are required to be involved in. And so they either come to school or they participate in some kind of virtual learning environment, but they've got to do it. That's why we've got to pay attention to all these issues, the way maybe a store or a restaurant doesn't have to do it. They have to entice customers, certainly, but if they chose to close, they could, if they can afford to. We can't close down our operations. We either have to do it face-to-face or we've got to do it virtually, but we've got to continue our operations.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Jeremy, I know you're rubbing your head. You gonna go get a haircut too?
Yeah, I'm overdue.
Yeah. All right, Juan, let me know. I got clippers, the house.
Nah, I'm not trusting you, Chris.
I'll do you real good.
No offense, man, but I'm afraid of what it'll look like.
Wind up with a mohawk.
Right, yeah. Jeremy, thank you. And Jeremy, you got my
Thank
number.
you.
Keep us posted about any developments, any changes in the conversation, just anything at all. We'll get you back on, okay?
Thanks.
You too,
Take care.
Juan. Thanks for
you,
joining
guys.
us. Hey, guys, there's virtual malasadas, and we also have virtual tuna sandwich in there if you guys want.
All right.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
right on.
Don't put it in the heat, though, or the mayonnaise will get bad.
No, it's in the virtual aircon, virtually cool. So you won't get a virtual stomach ache.
Spicy.
Okay, Uncle
All
Moss.
right.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Good morning. We'll take a really quick break and jump right into KUAM News Decision 2020 candidate interviews next.
GU Self Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Celebrate National Pizza Month with the Pepsi Pizza Report. Pepsi helps celebrate this tasty month with an easy way for you to win Pepsi and pizza. Post a photo of yourself enjoying your favorite Pepsi beverage to KUAM News or Uno Instagram or Facebook pages to enter to win Pepsi and pizza from one of our pizza sponsors. Catch the Pepsi Pizza Report every Thursday on KUAM News' The Link Morning Show and on the social media pages of KUAM News for reports, tastings, and everything pizza and Pepsi. The holidays are almost here, and we could all use an extra dose of cheer and joy this year. So, we're breaking the rules and giving you a holiday head start on Breeze 93.9 FM. Throughout the months of October and November, listen to the special holiday head start blocks of all the season's favorites from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's try to make spirits bright and make this the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays from Breeze.
We are in the middle of the most serious health crisis of our lives, and it affects everything from jobs to schools to the way we live. In addition to worrying about recovery, we must now worry about healthcare. And we shouldn't have to make choices between food and medicine, going to the doctor, or buying gas. We all need access to healthcare, and now more than ever, we need hospitals and clinics which can respond to pandemics. We must get the vaccines and new treatments for COVID-19. We must be ready with ventilators and partnerships with the federal government for our emergency facilities and have pandemic plans which provide a secure safety net. We must be ready for the next crisis. And this takes a leader in Washington who is trustworthy and will work with local leaders and experts. This is why I am running for Congress. I humbly ask you for your vote. Si Diyos maasi, maraming salamat po. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
The Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Shopping Fair is coming on Sunday, November 29th. It's the third annual Christmas Pops event with local artisans, crafters, and businesses in a reimagined and safe way for you to shop. As many small businesses struggle to survive, the call to buy local is greater than ever. To learn more and participate in this one-of-a-kind multimedia marketplace event on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications, bringing together the island's biggest array of local vendors, email bettyann@kuam.com or visit kuam.com.
About It. This is the 36th anniversary of October named as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The KOAM Care Force encourages you to think pink this October with our social media presentation, Pink About It, on October 22nd, and our KOAM News 5-part series, Awareness is Power, airing from the 19th to the 23rd, featuring a few incredible cancer warriors and the importance of screening and managing this disease. Think Pink is brought to you by Island Cancer Center.
A new surprise. I'm loving how you cooking, all the love that you're giving in this tropical sea. On Guam's how we living, and it seems kinda crazy, even though you have my baby so deep in love, but still argue on the daily.
All right, here we go, guys.
All right. You know, it's annoying. These people jump on the comments and want to talk about my mask.
Why? What's wrong with your mask?
Nothing. No, this guy here's like, are you serious with the mask or are you joking? Let me know if you want to get serious, bro.
Yeah, dang.
9:14. Yeah, we're being safe. Get over it. Buenas. Welcome to The Link, The Breeze, 93.9. Proudly brought to you by Carrier at 647 Cool. Cabo Enterprises, ITD, and the Thrive Coalition. Good morning. 9:14. We've got a couple candidates in here. We wrap up our senatorial candidate interviews tomorrow on The Link. And we have today the Democrat senatorial candidate, Chris Carrillo, and Republican candidate, former Senator Tony Yada. Thanks for joining us, guys. Good morning.
Half a day. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Bree. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Senator.
Tony. Morning, Chris. Morning, Bree.
Good morning.
And we are going to give you guys the rules of engagement.
You have 1 minute for an opening statement. Then we're going to ask you some questions, and you have 2 minutes each to respond. And then you have 2 minutes to close and give your final pitch.
There you go. So we'll start at the beginning with the 1 minute open, and we'll go ahead and start with former Senator, Republican candidate for Senator, Tony Yada.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Guam. Thank you to KUAM, Chris and Chris and Bree. Thank you for having us here today. To Chris Carrillo, thank you for joining on also. I'm Tony Yada. I come from the village of Sinahanya. I've been married to my wife and Ned for 35 years. I have 4 children. Donnie, Boo, Ali, and Amaya. And, we've been making home. Guam is our home, and it will always be our home. And my platform, we look to build a resilient and diverse economy, keeping our people and our communities safe, and also streamlining government. And all this we can do together. And, be that Chris and myself are fortunate to get elected into the 36th Guam legislature, I look forward to working with everyone to ensure that these things happen and that our island continues to grow and prosper. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Carrillo, Democrat candidate for Senator. 1 minute opening statement starts now.
Well, first of all, good morning to everyone. Thank you, Jason, Chris, and Sabrina for hosting this forum. And Tony, thank you for doing it with me. My name is Chris. I'm a small business owner. I'm a dad. And now I'm a teacher too, all of a sudden. It's my son is at home doing distance learning with me, and when I can't make it to the office, I've been trying to figure out the digital realm. And I really want to say thank you to the teachers and the frontliners who are out there doing these things and reimagining their jobs. I have a plan to create affordable healthcare in the small business community by providing some subsidies and getting businesses like the ones that my wife owns and Tony owns, and have them procure health insurance with big businesses. This will increase the risk pool, therefore lowering the premiums and improving the services. I also want to make sure that we
Thank you. Time's up, Chris.
Oh, 1 minute is up.
Yeah. Don't worry, you get 2 on the questions.
Right.
And Sabrina has our first question. Bree?
All right. Well, aside from a myriad of other issues, the coronavirus pandemic exposes the need for the government of Guam to be more accessible, right, in terms of using more technology to be able to conduct business electronically. Just saying you have a website or a Facebook page, it really does not cut it. Our employees are teleworking. What will you do if you are elected to serve in the 36th Guam legislature to improve e-government? And we'll start with you, Chris.
Well, I was just getting into that in my opening. Well, thank you for that question, Sabrina. Well, the last time I was on, I spoke with you guys about a trip I recently took, and I had gone to Hawaii, and fortunately, Tony had helped me when my father passed, and he helped me with my funeral arrangements and things. I went home, and I noticed that in Hawaii, one thing that they did was they have kiosks at supermarkets and in front of their DMV where there's no physical contact between the government employee and let's say a resident who wanted to renew their driver's license or renew their car registration, or if they wanted to get a copy of their birth certificate. These are all services that can be provided online. I also want to make sure that those employees that are working there in the front line are put to a place where they can be of more use, like in the back at Revenue Tax, so we can effectively capture the revenue that we haven't been capturing for years and years. I also think that we need to do 100% digital screening at our ports and airports to ensure that we interdict the drugs that are coming into our island. It's really a problem, and they have X-ray technology now that can scan whole containers and look inside of each box and see as small as a keychain and identify what's in those boxes. That'll do two things. Number one, it'll stop the flow of illegal drugs coming in through through the port and the airport. Number two, it'll also allow us to effectively capture the use tax that should be collected for goods and services that are brought to Guam, and are not for resale. So these are a few steps we can take to improve technology to make sure that government is working for us and not against us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Senator Ada?
Thank you, Bree. These past 7 months has been really a learning curve for everyone. But I think our government has started already on building a platform and building a foundation on e-government. What we need to do is just to continue building upon that foundation to ensure that we'll be able to get forms online, renewals online, everything from business license to, like Chris said, driver's license, everything that we can do in person, we should be able to do online. And that's what I was talking about in streamlining government. It's already being done throughout governments throughout the United States. We can do it here as well. We just need to work together to ensure that all the issues that we've seen throughout the months are worked out, the kinks are worked out, whatever that we need to pass in legislation to ensure that the government can collect revenues. And for example, even when people order online with Amazon and Walmart and stores that are online, how do we collect those revenues? How do we capture those revenues that are escaping? So all these things together, working with the partners at DMV, Revenue Tax, and all the other agencies will ensure that our government will be able to be can transition from an in-person to online and moving forward into the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Okay, next question. What letter grade, A through F, would you give the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration's handling of the coronavirus pandemic, and why? And we'll go ahead and start with you, Democrat candidate Chris Carrillo. 2 minutes to answer, starting now.
Well, I would like to see it. There's two different segments of what happened here. The initial part of the initial part of the pandemic, I thought they did really well. But I think overall, if we look at it and we take it into account that it's a pandemic that no one has ever seen, we've never survived anything like this before. So it's been very difficult. I hear a lot of people asking for a plan, but it's hard to plan to fight an invisible enemy. So I like to give them a C. And I think one of the reasons I give them a C is because I feel like one of the things they haven't done was repeatedly push to make sure that we're following the 3 W's: wash your hands, wear a mask, and socially distance, right? We need to make sure that the messaging is clear and concise. And I think that the public health side, they've done a great job, but it's more about, right? Think about it this way. Trust is a two-way street. So if the governor wants the community to trust her, the governor needs to be more forthcoming with her messaging. And, frankly, I think she has been, but we also could have been a little more forthcoming. Kmart could have said right away that they were the one that had the outbreak. So we need to have the community trust the government so that we can trust them to take the right steps. So I'd say they earned about a C, but I really think it could have been a whole lot worse than it actually has been. So I think the administration's done a good job. We just need to do a little bit better and get buy-in from the community so we can get our businesses open. At the end of the day, we all want to go back to work. Everyone wants to go back and have dinner. We all want to do things that we used to do prior to the pandemic, and we're not going to get there with the community division that we have right now. So I'll give them a C.
Thank you, Chris. Tony, 2 minutes to respond, starting now.
Yeah, I think, in the onset, I don't think we can really give them a letter grade because we were all in it together. None of us knew exactly what was going on. We didn't know what kind of virus this was going to be. We didn't know what the effects and the outcome would be if the person gets ill. And now we do know. We do know what's going on. We do know how to kind of not prevent it, but to stay more healthy. And I think that communication was the biggest issue that the government had with the public. Communication and transparency. I think on the onset, had they been honest with the community of what's going on, and how do we can transition from this pandemic back to slowly opening up our economy, was really key as to why they failed in moving forward, is because they kept going back on their word. They kept going back on their side of what was going on. They couldn't make up their mind. They had a panel of advisors that was advising them one thing, and then we don't know where the other advice was coming from, that the governor came out and went against the advisory council. So I think communication is the biggest thing that they need to work on to ensure that it gets out to our community, and in response, our community can respond appropriately. We can turn around and ensure that the precautions that we need to take will be taken. I mean, I go through it almost every day, having public health come by our place and watching us every single day, but yet we don't see them at the other places that crowds are greater, right? So I think we need to see some type of balance in ensuring that our community is safe in all sectors, in all.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator.
Guam currently doesn't have a local unemployment insurance program. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program expires in December. We don't know if Congress is going to pass another stimulus package for the territory. What are your plans to help if we don't get any other federal assistance funding? The unemployed, and we're looking at right now 35,000. It could be more by the time we get to December. Do you support legislation for a local unemployment insurance program? If not, what are your plans? And we'll start with you, Senator Ada.
So, today there is nothing that prevents the current legislature from addressing these issues. The current legislature is the majority. The Democrats have the majority. The administration is a Democrat controlled. Congress is controlled by the Democrats as well. So is the mayor's council. So, there's nothing that prevents them from doing this today. But in the future, what we need to do is to rebuild our economy. Because we can talk about unemployment insurance all we want, but if we don't have the businesses open to provide such type of wages and collection of revenue and taxes for our government, then I don't think we can even speak about unemployment insurance, because then the burden of the unemployment insurance is going to fall on what businesses that we do have left that's trying to sustain. So I think we need to really look at focusing on rebuilding our economy and reopening all the businesses that we can. And then we can talk about what is it that we can do, because the platform is already there for the uninsured. The DOL is already going through it. They have the program, they have the platform. So let's get together and find out what is it that we can do. But we can't tax our local businesses again coming out of this pandemic. So what is it that we can do collectively with the government and the private sector?
Chris?
Well, certainly I have a different opinion for him. The government, the workers that work at these businesses need to be taken care of. There's 6,000 employees in Tumon that are relatively jobless. So do we need to create an unemployment program? Yes. And all over the country, in fact, there are unemployment programs. So something needs to be put into place, and I hope they don't wait until January for some new legislature to put it in. I really think that the legislature has a few bills going around, and hopefully before the end of the session, they will take care of it. But truthfully, if businesses are closed down and not making money, then they're not paying taxes either. So the idea that we need to give them a tax break, yes, it's difficult. It's a difficult position. I'm an owner. I own 3 businesses. I know what it's like to not have money coming in and to have to pay my rent and to have to try and pay my employees. It's been difficult, but if businesses plan correctly and they put some money on the side like we did, we never missed a payday. Until the second round, we missed some paydays, but the first round, the first 12 weeks, we never missed a payday. So can it be done? Yes. Should the private sector workers have unemployment insurance if they lose a job through no fault of their own? Absolutely. It's not just, it's the responsible thing to do. And the Republicans and, the business owners, we need to come together and coalesce around the idea that the only way our business grows is if we foster growth through investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Next question. What letter grade A through F would you give the 35th Guam legislature for its performance during the pandemic? And we'll go ahead and let's keep it with Chris. Chris, you got 2 minutes to respond starting now.
Okay, well, during the pandemic, it's hard. I think that a lot of people think that the legislature can go in there and snap their fingers and do things. The CARES Act funding, the legislature has no control over. It's the governor's prerogative how she wants to spend that. And as far as closing down the government or opening up the government, really, the Chapter 10 GCA, where the governor's emergency powers lie, they already give pretty much certain authority to the governor to lead us through a pandemic. Now, this is an extended pandemic. Just think, this is a hurricane every day, a typhoon every day for the last 7 months. So the legislature hasn't had a large role to play because they don't have a large role to play in the overall day-to-day operation of the government. The legislature is a prospective body that looks towards the future to see how they can make Guam a better place. So I wouldn't give them a letter grade of F or A. I'd say they're probably somewhere in the C. I think that the legislature, they could have done a better job with their communications in their offices, making sure that people who are on social media saying, wear a mask, stay at home, trying to quell the political divide. I mean, we have a president in Washington who's saying all the time, masks are not necessary, go out and let's open up everything. And then he got coronavirus, and then 30 people in the White House got coronavirus. So it's hard to tell our residents to stay home when the president of the United States is walking around and having rallies in the middle of this. So it's a really difficult position, but the legislature is just not a day-to-day operator of the government. The legislature is the prospective arm of the government, making sure that we do things right in the future and to examine what has been done in the past.
Thank
they
you.
don't make decisions that
Thank you,
affect
Chris.
the government day-to-day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Former Senator Ada, you have 2 minutes to respond, starting now.
Yeah, I think that the legislature has failed the people. They could have, absolutely, they're the third branch of government. Judiciary was still working, administration was still working, the legislature could have still gone to work. It takes, and just like they're doing virtual sessions and virtual public hearings and things like that, they could have continued to do it from the very onset. What people needed during the onset of this virus, this pandemic, was leadership. And this was the opportunity and the time for the legislature to show that leadership, to show our people that they are listening, that they are watching what's going on, that they are going to be able to go forward and say, you know what, these are the issues that face our people. So how can we work with the administration if we need to amend laws that are currently in place, that the governor cannot do transfers or whatever it may be because of a law that's in place, then the legislature could have came in and amended that law or repealed that law. It's about working together with the legislative branch and the administration, and they failed to do that. What they did was they did stay home, and they were nowhere to be found. They weren't accounted for. So I think in the future, what needs to be accounted for is the senators and the governor, the lieutenant governor, and Congress as well. They all need to get together to formulate a plan that should we come into a pandemic in the future, how is it that we can work together, that people's voices are being heard and the administration can act. And if anything that needs to go to our federal partners, that Congress will be, the congressional delegate would be able to bring forward those issues to DC.
Thank you. We just saw over 100 members of the business community participate in a community rally, a motorcade from GPO to Adelup, and then over to the Guam legislature, sending a message that we need help, we need support. If elected, what are your plans specifically, if you could share with us, on helping the economy rebuild? I'll start with you, Chris.
Well, one of the things that I want to do is to invest in new industries. I want to bring in companies like Google, YouTube, Amazon, Alibaba, and use some of our government land that's unusable and provide low-cost leases so that they can provide high-paying quality jobs. I think that we need to rethink how we're going to what we're going to do going forward. We have 3 legs to our economy, right? We have the tourism leg, we have the military spending, and we have the government spending. And cutting off any of those legs is pretty detrimental. So first of all, we cut away the first leg, which is tourism, which is our economic driver. So what's happened in the interim is the government and the military, they picked up their spending. $8.6 billion a year over the next 10 years are going to be spent by the military to ensure that the buildup is done. So we need to capture that revenue, make sure that we have plans in place to effectively collect the use taxes for all the materials that they'll bring in from off island so we can get paid on those. And then we need to look to diversify, set up data server farms for big companies like YouTube so that they can provide better services to Asia and its billion consumers over there. And then we can set up fulfillment centers where Amazon can set up a fulfillment center so that they can get their orders out 2 days to Asia instead of waiting, 2 weeks the way they have to wait now. So there's different industries we can look at. We also need to expand our agriculture and aquaculture. We could do exports of seafood like shrimp, lobster, crab, and we can grow food at home. Right now, we bring in about 90% of the food. I think we might be better off bringing in, 40, 50, 60%. That'll create jobs and it'll give everybody safer produce. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question.
Oh wait, Senator.
Oh, Senator Ada?
Ada.
Sorry, Senator.
Yeah,
My
what I
bad,
like
Senator.
to-
Go ahead. You have 2 minutes to respond, starting now.
No problem. We need to revisit the BPT and reduce that back to 4%. Over the past couple of years, you've seen that the government has, the surplus. Well, they didn't call it surplus; they called it excess revenues. 35 million, 27 million. Let's give the businesses a fighting chance to survive. Those that are currently still in operation and those that have closed, an opportunity to reopen. We can also look at ensuring that. Let's look at the fees for business licensing and either reduce it or eliminate it for the first year so that people can start to open businesses and generate revenue for the government. The other issue would be what grants that are available for our farming industry that we haven't taken advantage of. And I know there's a lot of farming grants that are out there that our local farmers have not been able to take advantage of, probably because Department of Agriculture hasn't seen anything that's come down the pipeline. But I think we can go with farming and, like Chris said, agriculture and aquaculture. Let's start doing what we can within so that we can start building, and then we can be reliant and resilient upon ourselves instead of always relying upon the outside world. I mean, it's going to take a long time, but I'm sure we can do it. We've done it these past several months, relying on each other, and I'm pretty sure we can do it in the future, relying on each other as well.
Thank you, Senator. Next question. Donald Trump and Mike Pence, or Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and why? And we'll go ahead and start with you, former Senator. Tony Ada, you have 2 minutes to respond, starting now.
Well, I'm going for Trump and Pence. When you look at what President Trump has done within the past 4 years, he's built our economy to astronomical numbers in jobs, in revenue, bringing back companies that have left the United States, gone to Mexico, gone to China, coming back to the United States, rebuilding the automobile industry. It's only when the pandemic came that unemployment, unfortunately, and rised, and jobs weren't there, and the gross domestic product was starting to fall. But other than that, what he accomplished in 4 years, Biden hasn't been able to accomplish in the 40 years that he's been in Congress and as vice president when he was with President Obama. So, of course, it's going to be Trump and Pence come 2020, and I look forward to working with him in D.C. in the next 4 years.
Thank you, Senator. Chris, 2 minutes.
Well, I'm glad that Tony takes responsibility for President Trump because he's been a disaster for our country. Our country has never been more divided than it is now. They talk about the Second Amendment. They're going to come for your guns. Guess what? The Democrats can't come for your guns. It takes 2/3 of the House and Senate to come for your guns, and two-thirds of the population has guns. The Democrats don't want to take your gun. The Democrats want reasonable background checks. So it's definitely going to be Biden and Harris. Trump's economic plan is good for the rich, the 1%. The Trump tax cuts affected the top 85%. What did we have to do, Tony? My good friend here had to park his hearse outside of the legislature so we could raise the BPT because of Trump's tax cuts. So you know how negatively that affected our island. And frankly, reducing the BPT for Guam only is a $10,000 hit for a company that makes $1 million in sales. That's the difference between that's what they want to stop. It's $10,000 if you make $1 million of sales. The legislature already cut the tax by 40% for businesses that make less than $500,000. And the last BPT increase was in 2004, and then everyone got voted out. And then now, because the Republic, and now we're 100 police officers short. We're 100 customs officers short. We're 100 DOC officers short. We're radically unfunding our Department of Education. So I just don't see the value in cutting the BPT, because that'll lead to the layoff of 2,500 more employees from the government of Guam. And we're going to add that to our unemployment rolls. Biden and Harris have a plan to bring back, spend money on green energy to make sure that places like Guam aren't forgotten. And I really think that the Democrats are the way to go in the national election and in the local election.
Thank you, Chris. Time's up.
Thank you.
You both have brought up BPT. What about this minimum wage hike that is scheduled to go into effect in March of next year? If the economy is still the way it is now.
I felt like you were going to cuss there.
I almost was. But would you support repealing or even delaying the implementation of the minimum wage hike to help these businesses? And we'll start with you, Chris.
Who, me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Chris.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, this minimum wage hike was planned for. We passed this already early in 2019. So businesses knew it was coming up. Yes, it's probably a difficult time to still implement the tax. And I'm sure that we'll have discussions about whether or not to pause it or not. But going forward, the minimum wage is not what we're worried about. We need to grow the middle class. The middle class has disappeared from Guam. We get 55,000 people on food stamps. Why is that? Are they staying home? No, those people are working poor. They aren't being paid the wages that they would get paid anywhere else, which is why there's a mass exodus of people leaving Guam, taking our best and brightest away from us. So we need to look at the government and see how we can subsidize businesses so that they can pay their employees more. I mean, I really feel like if we work together and stop saying, oh, we got to kill the BPT, or we got to do this, or we got to, no, we cannot. The fighting, the Republicans and the chamber and the Democrats need to stop fighting. We need to coalesce around the idea that we need to build the middle class. That's the most important thing. Should everyone make money? Absolutely. In Hawaii, they make $24 an hour on average. On Guam, it's $12.75. You tell me why? There's a $12 an hour difference in pay for two different locations that both have to abide by the Jones Act. It's you put more money out, the more money there is for all the businesses to make. That's how sort of circular economy is. The more money that's in the economy, the more the businesses will make, the more everyone will make. So we need to find a way to get the business community and the government to work together instead of fighting, trying to get the lowest taxes. Maybe you got to pay $10,000 more if you make $1 million. That's okay, because that's not going to kill your business. I don't know how that will kill your business, because if you survive even $10,000.
Thank you, Chris. Time's up. Former Senator Ada, 2 minutes starts now.
I think, we do need to build the middle class. We do need to put people back to work and continue to have them grow. If come January, when the next increase comes, I think that's something that just has to move forward. It was already passed in law. It needs to move forward, and we need to revisit anything else after that. Give the businesses time to recover, give them time to rebuild. And I'm sure that once they rebuild and once they recover, just like in the past, the business community didn't come out in full opposition of the minimum wage. What they did come out was the one-time, I think it was $1, right, Chris, where they wanted a $1 increase immediately, then the next $1. And I think when they came out incrementally, 25 cents, 30 cents, or what it was, and it was accepting. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to think about how we can do these things by incremental stages instead of one impact of trying to just get everything at one time. We need to ensure that if we're going to build our business community, we need to build them up so that they can support the employees, so that they can support, the employees can support their families. And working together with Chris in the legislature, we're given that opportunity. We can ensure that we move forward, and we can make sure that our business community, we're both small business owners. And I'm sure that we're gonna not just look out for the businesses, but also for the employees that we want to employ and that are, want to go back to work, because a lot of people want to go back to work to support their families.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Next question here. What do you think the 35th Guam legislature's biggest win and loss was? And we'll go ahead and start with you, Chris. 2 minutes to respond. Again, what do you think the 35th Guam legislature's biggest win and loss was? Starting now.
Well, thanks for that question. I believe that the biggest win was probably standing up the marijuana industry. I think that can do a lot of good for Guam because it's a new industry, right? It's something that's in the black market. It's in the shadows. We can actually collect tax revenue and grow our economy, create new jobs. I think the biggest loss that we had, or the biggest loss they took, was I feel like this last year's budget, it was really, man, it's just so uncertain. And until we get a handle on how everything's going to shake out, until we know how this virus is going to progress, it's going to be really hard to do the budget. So, I applaud them for their trying, but it was a really difficult budget, but it was also very tenuous. And, I think also the 40% reduction in the BPT for businesses up to 500,000, that's a big win. And I'm happy that the legislature provided that to small businesses. So, there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Tony, again, the question, what do you think the 35th Guam legislature's biggest win and loss was in this term? 2 minutes starts now.
I think the biggest win for the Guam legislature was overriding the governor's veto on the budget. I think that they showed leadership then, and that they showed separation of powers from the legislature and the administration. They held the administration to live within the means of the budget that the legislature had passed. When the governor came back and tried to push another budget onto them, they stood their ground and said, no, this is what we passed as a body, and this is what you're going to have to work with. And that was the biggest win for the legislature. The biggest, I think, the loss, and Chris brought it up, was the Dave Santos Act, where they reduced the tax on that. They put a sunset provision also. I think what they should have done is just let it ride out and forget about the sunset provision and let that continue. If the sunset provision comes up, hopefully that someone would take the lead and say, you know what, okay, let's remove the sunset provision or revisit it completely, depending what our situation is come January. What our revenue collections would be, what our projections would be for the upcoming for FY 2022. All these things got to be taken into account. Because we're not going to be able to spend the way we used to in 2019 and 2020 and 2018. We're going to need to be more conservative. We're really going to need to tighten the belt. And Chris was right. We need to work together with the administration, with the legislature, with the business community, all coming together to ensure that what goes forward, it's going to be workable for everyone. And that's what I look at for the legislature this past term.
Thank you, Tony. Bree?
Real simple. Why should we trust you? Why should the people of Guam trust you? Senator Ada.
For the past, for my entire life, I've worked on my integrity, my credibility. It's been something that is very important. Once you lose trust with the community, once you lose trust with the public, then it's very hard to regain that trust. And working on my integrity and my credibility, it took me a lifetime. And I'm not going to do anything for anyone to lose that in seconds. And the public can trust me because I've always been there. I'm an experienced leader. I've shown I've held nothing back. I've always been out there in the community, both in office and out of office. I serve my country. So, integrity and credibility is important to me. And that's one thing that I will not compromise. And it will always be top and foremost.
Thank you, Senator Ada. Chris?
Well, that's a good question. Why should you trust me? Well, I don't need to be a senator. I'm doing this because I want to help. I think that I have the expertise in finance. I have a good background in policy. And number one, the best thing that I'll bring to the table is the ability to coalesce around ideas that are the best. Whether it's Senator Ada or Senator Terlahi, I will always be able to find the best way to move forward. I'm a people that is a consensus builder. I'm a person that builds consensus. I helped Guam Auto Spot build its finance department up from the ground up. I've helped Micronesia Renewable Energy put hundreds of solar systems on islands, trying to get renewable energy to be a real industry on Guam. And I work for BJ Cruz. If you guys haven't been around BJ Cruz and understand what kind of integrity that man has, and Tony has been in meetings with me on numerous occasions, and BJ will always tell you that you have to hold everyone accountable. Your best friend, you hold them more accountable than you hold your worst enemy. So I'm a person I stick to my word, and I do what I say I'm gonna do. And I think that just my background and my expertise and my ability to cooperate with people is going to be a big plus for the legislature should I get elected in the 36th.
Thank you, Chris. Next question. If elected, what would you do to improve the legislature's role as a check and balance on the other branches of government? 2 minutes starting now. Former Senator Tony Ada.
What we need to do is to ensure that to increase checks and balances, to hold more oversight hearings on the different departments and agencies. We need to ensure that what they're asking for is truly what they need, and that's going forward in any budget. Previously in the past, the way we held budget hearings was that every agency and department came before the legislature with their needs, and over the years that has really stopped to where now it's just a one lump sum government budget for the administration, and it parcels out to different education and things like that. We need to go back to the way we were doing it in the past and looking at each agency individually. It was each school that came down individually, so that we can get a better grasp on what we need for the budget as we move forward. I think that the checks and balances will always come with transparency, working in transparency and accountability with the government, with the administration, to just be straightforward and honest with us. That's all they need to do, is to be straightforward, good or bad. Because if we're going to be in this together, let's be in it for the good times. Let's be in it together for the bad times. But that's what we need to do, is bring accountability and transparency first and up front.
Thank you, Tony. Chris, 2 minutes starts now.
Well, I really agree with Tony, right? Trust is a two-way street. The government has to be honest with the people so that the people can trust the government. And as long as we do that, we'll be fine. As a senator, if I have a committee and I see something that's looking nefarious or out of, not looking like it's on the up and up, I'll certainly call an oversight hearing. I don't have a problem calling an oversight hearing on even my friends, because at the end of the day, all we want to do is make them do their job better, right? We're not here to say, man, you're a bad director, let's fire you. No. What resources can we do to make sure that you're doing things the right way? A lot of times there's a lot of finger pointing and a lot of things going on in the media and social media, and really at the end of the day, that's how government is, right? Government is different from running a business. So we need to figure out the best way that we can provide the resources to our businesses, to our agencies, to make sure that they can meet their mandates. And if they're not meeting their mandates for any reason, we need to call them on it. And if they're doing something nefarious, oversight hearings need to be held. And as long as everyone is on the up and up, that we can get better as a government and we can provide better services to our residents. Thanks.
Thank you. I really feel for the people, the staff that work at the Guam Memorial Hospital. We had Dr. Jolene Uggan on our show weeks back, and she described what it's like to work there. And, you know, despite the conditions with the roofs leaking and things like that, they still go in there every single day and work. Hospitalizations are at an all-time high. They need nurses. They need doctors. What are some of the ideas that you have to help GMH with everything that's going on? I will start with you, Chris.
It's a very complicated issue, right? I think we as a community have to get together and start staying home so that less and less patients can be going into GMH because we all for them. I know nurses, I know administrators that are terrified going to work because they don't want to get COVID and take it home to their families. So we need to provide adequate PPEs, make sure that they're fully stocked with their PPEs, make sure that we're never running behind. We need to, pay them their hazard pay if we can. We need to do whatever we can to thank our frontliners because this is an unprecedented event. I mean, I cannot stress enough how it's just divided our community. It's divided our island. My kid doesn't even want to leave the house because he's scared of getting COVID. I mean, we need to do more as a government, but first of all, it starts with protecting them, making sure that they have PPEs. And then everyone at home, we all have to do our part. Wear a mask, wash your hands. Don't go to Pari's house and eat dinner. Don't go to your mother. I know you want to. We all want to see our friends and our family. We miss everyone. I miss Tony. I haven't seen Tony in months. Tony and I are friends. We talk all the time, but it's just not something we can do right now. So everyone needs to do it together so that we can protect the frontliners as they protected us, especially in the early stages of this pandemic. So I propose that we make sure that they have enough PPEs and we all do our part. And then whatever financial incentives we can pay to these frontliners, we need to give them the incentive pay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Senator Etta?
Yeah, we need to give GMH what we committed to them. And the legislature passed a bill that became public law that gave them $10 million that they still have yet to see. We need to ensure that the PP, thank the CNMI and Palau government for both contributing to our island in PPEs and COVID testing kits. That helped us. And, we need to ensure that helping the Guam Memorial Hospital is our priority. We had the CARES Act funding that could have given more revenues to the Guam Memorial Hospital. We could probably employ more temporary nurses that, could augment the nurses up here that are burnt out. But Chris said it right. We need to pay our employees what they're worth. And the frontliners at the hospital have really stepped up first and foremost throughout the pandemic. They probably go home. In the beginning, they weren't even going home. They go stay at a hotel so that they don't infect their loved ones, and then they go back to work, and some of them were putting it out of their pocket. So we need to ensure that we give them what they need, both in funding and in resources, as in PPEs, as in testing kits. Whatever they need, we need to ensure that they get it and it's provided to them.
Thank you, Tony and Chris. You now will have 2 minutes each for your closing statements, and we'll start with you, Senator Etta.
Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris Carrillo, for joining me here. Jason, we have challenging times ahead of us. It's going to take real strong leadership to do what is needed to make sure that our government is able to provide to our people and our community. The only way that we can do that is to ensure that we have a strong leader in the legislature. I've proven myself in the past from the 30th to the 33rd Guam legislatures I've proven myself in the private business community. I've proven myself as a service. I hope and I ask the people of Guam to give me that opportunity to come back and serve the people of Guam in the 36th Guam legislature. If I'm able and successful enough to make it in, I hope I'm working there beside Chris Carrillo, who I know that will come out and work together with us so that we can ensure that the future of our island and the future of our people is going to be bright, because we are responsible for ourselves. And the only way that we can ensure that the responsibility for our people and our community is a strong leadership in the legislature. So I humbly ask for your vote in this coming election. I'm Tony Atta. I'm number 7 on the Republican side of the ballot. And I thank all of you for joining us here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris, your final comments, 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to thank KUAM for the opportunity to have this forum and this platform to discuss our views. I also want to thank Tony for being a good sport and hanging in there with me all afternoon. But the truth is, Tony and I have worked together a lot in the past. And we've done a lot of things with BJ when he had his own office. So kudos to him. I really wish you all the best of luck, sir. Look, my name is Chris Carrillo, and I have a real plan. A plan to expand healthcare to the private sector to make sure that we get more of our public sector workers, private sector workers employed. What can that do? That can reduce our taxpayers from having to subsidize the hospital so much every year. I also have a plan to right-size government. And by right-sizing government, what I want to do is make sure that we apply the resources in the correct areas. So if we expand technology, we can move people to areas in the government where they need it and we're lacking resources. And, you know, I'm a guy that's full of integrity, man. What I tell you I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. I treat everybody with respect. I've been a musician for 30 years. A lot of you have had me at your homes. A lot of you have been to parties where I've been playing. Trust me, you know me, and I'm a person that's going to do right by all of you. And I hope that if I'm afforded the opportunity of getting one of your votes, I can work with Tony to make sure that the Republican Democrats have people who will actually like each other and aren't just going to go in there and fight, because the fighting is not getting us anywhere. We need to figure out together. And although we might have different ideas on how we're going to get to the best place that Guam can be, if Tony can tell me this is what we should do and this is what we end up doing, then as long as it makes sense for me, I'll coalesce with him. So look for people that know how to cooperate. Don't go for the people that want to tell you that they're the only ones that has an idea. You have to elect me because I'm the only one that's going to do it.
Thank you, Chris.
Sorry.
Yeah. My phone froze.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tony, for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, guys. Good talk, man. Good talk. Glad you guys were able to agree on a lot of things.
And good luck.
Thank you both.
All right.
There's virtual tuna sandwich, virtual malasadas on if you guys want a balutan on the way out, okay? Because we're ending the show. Whatever's there, just go ahead and take it. Don't worry, there's no flies.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, see you guys. Good discussion there. Good discussion. We've seen it all, from candidates who are just like, holy, what the hell, to, people who can put words together and form sentences. It's pretty cool. Hey, guess what? What?
No, I know what you're saying.
Okay, good. Let's go get some pizza, guys. But before we get some pizza, we got a couple great prizes for you, okay? And we're going to give them both away. Bree, you had that pizza trivia question? Because I couldn't find it. But I have this other one.
Okay, so let me find because we have 2 different promos going on right now.
We have the Pepsi Pizza Report, and then we have Pepsi Guam Bottling, and our truly local trivia question for today. Are you guys ready? Name 2 local products made here in Guam at Pepsi Guam Bottling. Okay? Name 2 local products made here in Guam at Pepsi Guam Bottling. Now, those of you who pay attention know they do Hanum, they do the tropical ice, and also Chamorro Punch. So again, name 2 local products made here in Guam at Pepsi Guam Bottling. We'll take the first correct caller, 637-0094, for that one. And then Bree, pizza.
I'm trying to pull it up. So.
Okay. We'll just go ahead and give you guys some pizza here. Let's go to CPK, okay? We'll go to CPK here with our Pepsi pizza report for today, right here on the link. It's The Breeze, 93.9.
Today's pizza tasting segment is brought to you by Pepsi.
Here at CPK again for our Pepsi pizza report, and we're going to try a couple great pies out of CPK. We have the shaved mushroom spinach for all my vegetarians out there, and then we've got the spicy Milano, which is great. It's got a spicy fennel sausage and a whole bunch of good stuff. And we're going to actually do that on a cauliflower crust here. My man Kim is going to put these 2 pies together for us. So Kim, take it away. Cauliflower crust for the spicy Milano, and that looks like a great sauce you got on there, right? That looks like some cheese. You're getting cheesy, huh, Ken?
Yeah, this one is fresh mozzarella cheese.
So, of course, great pizza has always got to have that mozzarella, and it's fresh here at CPK. All right, this is a spicy fennel sausage. Fennel's that great earthy flavor, and of course, with that spice and the spicy Milano, that's going to cut through that cheese and give you a real nice flavor explosion on your palate. We got the spicy fennel, of course, that big pepperoni that I love from CPK. They have the biggest pepperoni. So we've got the spice in that sausage, and of course the serrano pepper. This is a great little doni. It's got some heat, but it's not a lingering heat, so you can have bite after bite. Make it rain, Parmesan. So now we're gonna prep our shaved mushroom and spinach pie, and this is gonna be on what kind of crust?
Regular crust.
Regular crust. And take it away, Kim. All right, first things first, it is the Pepsi pizza report. So let's start by pouring ourselves a nice ice cold Pepsi on the rocks.
Nice and refreshing for outdoor dining.
And CPK, of course, they have the curbside. They got the takeout, and they're working on outdoor dining. So check their social media for more information. Bree, we have the shaved mushroom and spinach pie. That's vegetarian, and then over here I have the spicy Milano on a cauliflower crust, because you know it's got spicy meat, so I got to put it on something healthy.
And this is more vegetarian, right?
Yeah, it is vegetarian, and it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in here. I don't know if you guys can see these gobs of fresh mozzarella on there. We have the serrano pepper. This sauce is so flavorful. And this thin cauliflower crust, it's really crispy. And it's a great palate for this spicy Milano, this fresh mozzarella.
How's the spice? Hot?
It's pica, but it's not pica caca.
I see the jalapeno.
That is, wow. Definitely got some kick. I just ate one of those big pepperonis, Highly recommend this spicy Milano. Brie, what you got?
So I've got the cheese with the shaved mushrooms and the spinach. You know, I'm a meat lover type person, but this is really good. It's really satisfying, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody.
There you go. So get your takeout, get your curbside. Check CPK's social media for more info on outdoor dining and Pepsi. Cheers. Right on. Virtual cheers. Always got to wash down any great pizza with a nice cold Pepsi. Let me chow this, and I'm gonna chow one of those if you guys don't mind. Thank you again for joining us for our Pepsi pizza report. Bree, so many ways for our people to win great pizzas.
Right. All you have to do is take a picture, a selfie with any Pepsi product, post it on your social media, but make sure to tag. This is an important part. Make sure to tag KUAM News or Uno Guam, and you could win a free pizza. It's as easy as that.
Thank you for talking, because I'm not supposed to talk with my mouth full, and right now it's full of delicious, hot, spicy Milano here at CPK. Thanks, guys. Check out CPK for some great pies. Again, we have the shaved mushroom and spinach and the spicy Milano on cauliflower crust. For Bree, Chris,
Today's pizza tasting segment is brought to you by Pepsi.
Oh, how spicy is it? We got to work on our additives, right?
Yeah.
I got to go watch more food review stuff, because I was just like, oh, wow. Yeah, wow. And you're like, I don't recommend it to anybody. Hey, good morning, guys. Let's go to the phones and get a winner here. We're doing 2 contests, okay? Because that's how much we love you. Our first one is our Pepsi Guam Bottling Truly Local contest. So I just need you to name 2 local products made here in Guam at Pepsi Guam Bottling. We'll go to caller number 1. What's your name, sir?
Ray.
Ray, name me 2 local products made here in Guam at Pepsi Guam Bottling.
We have Chamorro Punch and Harlem Water.
Yes, absolutely correct, my friend. You have for today, what are we giving away here? Oh, yeah. You got a $25 Taco Bell gift certificate and a 2-liter Pepsi. Hold on, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we callers on hold. Hold the line. We have another opportunity for you to win, Bree.
Sorry, I pulled up the wrong. Okay, here it is. Sorry.
Okay.
This is the trivia question. Throughout the world, 5 billion pizzas are sold every year. What night is the most popular night of the week to eat pizza?
Wow.
The number to call, 637-0094.
All right, let's get right to it. Ma'am, what's your name?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, Chris.
Ma'am, so the question is...
Throughout the world, 5 billion pizzas are sold every year. What night is the most popular night of the week to eat pizza?
Friday night.
What night?
Friday night.
Sorry, that's the wrong answer.
Chris, before I leave...
Oh, ma'am, I got to put you on hold, okay?
Okay.
Are you calling from the bank?
No,
Hold on, ma'am. Okay, let's go to line 2 here. Good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Noni Spumoni.
Noni Spumoni. What is the most popular night of the week to eat pizza?
I want to say Sunday night.
Wrong.
Sorry. Okay, so 637-0094. Again, if you guys, let's go back to the phones. Hi, who's this?
Julie.
Again?
Julie.
What is the most popular night of the week to eat pizza? Wednesday.
No.
Sorry. Nope.
Man.
Wow. Well, it's process of elimination. There's only how many days left?
2, 3,
Hi.
4 more days.
Who's this?
Hi, this is Nas.
Hi, good morning.
Nas, good morning.
Do you have the answer?
Did anyone say Saturday night yet?
No one said Saturday night, but you're the winner. Yay!
Wow.
Malfunction, you rule.
All right. Hold on, Cage. Okay, hold on. Congratulations. What do we got from Bree?
So she wins the pizza from CPK, gift certificate, and a 2-liter of Pepsi.
There you go. Okay, Nas, hold on, Kay. Thank you. All right, there you go. So easy. And we'll do another giveaway tomorrow, the Pepsi Guam Bottling Truly Local. Our prize tomorrow, just so you get a heads up here, $25 gift certificate at Shirley's and a
Ooh.
2-liter Pepsi. Sounds good, huh?
Yes.
Good job today, Bree.
Good job.
Joe, sir, good job. Jason Solis, he's doing his squats over somewhere in the studio.
Yeah.
Doing a squat. Also, Master Control, Ken Engineer, thanks for getting us up on KUAM TV. Guys, it was a really rough morning with the stream. Unfortunately, with the thunder and the lightning, we did lose the stream a couple times. So thank you guys for your dedication and loyalty and jumping on with us every time we went live. So definitely, we have the best audience out here, the smartest listeners, the wisest viewers, and we thank you for joining us and continuing to support us. And the link.
We also want to just make sure everybody knows that there is a 2:00 press conference that the governor is holding. We will be streaming that live on our Facebook page, as well as right here on The Breeze and on KUAM TV. So that's at 2:00. The governor's holding a press conference.
There you go. And just an early word, I had actually got a hold of
it's the Shake Great Guam Shakeout time. Drop cover, hold on.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's 1 minute.
Okay, so we got to go, and we're going to go drop cover. Hold on, guys. Hey, for all my people up north in Jigo, I know they're doing the outreach over there at Zero Down, so I want to leave you with some Jigo kids here. KFC kids from Chook, and this one's called Nemena. Again, Bree, good job today.
Good job, everybody.
My name's Chris. Esta.
Bye.
Adios.
Drop cover, hold on.